Welcome, everyone, to San Antonio by Night Aftermath. This will be a continuation of the previous session in which our wonderful coterie, the Iconoclasts, have put together a barbecue, a social gathering of those in the neighborhood, and have been doing a little bit of mingling with some people they already know and some people they have only just met. In the last little portion of this, there was an interesting visitor who came to this little soiree by the name of Max. And I'm sure our coterie has already started to develop opinions about him. But let's get their thoughts on this situation. Faust, you've been primarily looking at mingling with a particular person that you already know, but have been doing a bit of wandering the crowd on your own. Why don't you give us a bit of thoughts as some rather loud conversation may have caught your ear in the form of a rather grotesque looking individual. Not hideous by Nosferatu standards, but still hard to look at.
Where do I begin? This Max. Slimy. Not to say I haven't seen slimier, but definitely, well, not the cutest. But it's very interesting. I find it very interesting considering how much Marjani doesn't like us. She never really raised her voice at us, even if we were being a bit of a brat. Even if I was being a bit of a brat. So that can only suffice to say, Max's presence isn't exactly welcomed. I think I can make use of that, provided I know where he's headed, where he's going. It seems like he's already vacated the vicinities, though. Missed my chance. But I'm sure Marjani has a lot more to say about it. She may not trust me, but she will know that I am useful and reliable. What else can I do this evening? There's a lot of stops to be made. Mr. Ivanov, it's so pleasant to actually see him here. Man of culture. And this Charles Sawyer seems to be also present and within company. I don't know him, but I'll communicate. Make nice. There's a lot of nice making to do. In addition to that, there's a priest here. Ironically, I find myself atheistic, despite every circumstance and every situation that I've found myself in so far over the past couple of years. The most that I can believe in is only really what I can see. I don't dare claim to know much more than that. Though philosophy's fun. Maybe I can strike up a conversation. Much within the same realm that I do with Mr. Wolford. Provided this father is a philosophical man. We'll see. Lastly, Detective Moore. It's troubling to say the least, to know that he's so close, but at the same time, very pleasant. I can take this as an opportunity. In fact, if I can earn some degree of his trust, maybe I can get to learn more about his position. Being in Texas, being a regular throughout Dallas, seeing him in Dallas. All the wrong places in all the right times. I don't trust the man. nor his intentions. And knowing he's a detective, that's even worse. But we'll see what we can use him for. And we'll see how his needs may line up with mine.
We shall certainly see. You have no idea really why he was in Dallas, and you have no idea really why he's here. But you can
Well,
speculate.
we can definitely speculate.
Oh,
But
hooray.
it's
Your thoughts on this whole matter. What do you think of Max? What do you think of Marjani's opinion of Max?
Oh, I've got a lot of thoughts on that. I mean, this guy, Max Vargas, shows up, claims to be a used car salesman. Yeah, he definitely seems the type. Slimy, probably give you a raw deal. Although, he'll probably never lie to you. I think he looks like the honest type. That makes him dangerous. And Marjani reckons she told him to stay in his own area. Talking about how he was part of an Amarillo gang war. Yeah. Takes down Cammy. That was an interesting piece of information. Marjani wants us to stay the hell away from him. I can understand why. Chances are she doesn't want us swept out from underneath of her. Doesn't trust us, doesn't like us, but it's better than putting us in his hands. But I wonder what his end goal with showing up here was. It's interesting. Then we've got all of our guests. It's an interesting group. Lots of people that I know. Lots more that I don't. See if I can't make some friends amongst them. The agents here, it would look a little bit suspicious if I didn't show up and try my hand with him again. After all, Maria made it sound like I had a little bit of a crush on him. Might as well play that off. We'll see how that goes.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot going on here than simply just mingling. Some kindred affairs. Noel, you noticed that you and Ahure left Maria to have a conversation with Max on her own. Why did you do that?
Well, I didn't actually mean to leave her on her own, but my instincts got the better of me. I had just planned on stepping away for a moment, then coming back to regather myself after kind of freaking out a little bit of fire. But he was already gone. But it's something I'm gonna need to keep an eye on. He's slimy. So slimy that I think I could if need be, if we had a slip and slide going in the summer, wouldn't need to loop it up for him. Just push him down it. Slide just like everyone else. The last couple of nights have been absolutely brutal, and this one, well, it's shaping up to be no different. Noticed Mr. Sawyer is here. I hope he's having a fun enough time. And Miss O'Leary is also here, which makes me hesitant to do, well, just about anything, because I'm not sure how far Miss O'Leary will decide to go to... what's the word? Rectify her little spat with me.
Yeah, she's only just arrived and thankfully hasn't seen you yet.
Hopefully, I can keep it that way. Hopefully, I can keep it that way, because the last thing that we need is dealing with O'Leary. That could reveal some very unwanted secrets to people who really shouldn't know them. There are several members of the law here. Hopefully, their presence is enough to make her think twice about what it is that she says. But the last thing I want is to compromise myself, or worse, compromise Stanley. That would be bad.
Yes, it would. It would most certainly be bad. But then we have Maria. Max seemed to have quite a number of answers that you might be having questions for, and he seems to think that you are amongst his family.
Lord, I have no idea where he ends up getting that opinion, but I have to admit, there might be something to it. Fact of the matter is I don't get many who end up having answers for me. See, I got a lot of reputations that end up coming with me as what I am. And unfortunately, that ends up meaning that I have particular things that just come out of the woodwork. Something I'll definitely have to investigate later on. I got his card, I know how to get a hold of him. We'll definitely be doing that later on, when we're not so crowded. Right now, I'm having a point of looking at Officer Johnson there. Deacon, I think, was his first name. And the lovely wife, Anita, with their newfound baby. I love kids. So, that being said, I'm going to end up seeing if I can get some private time with Anita, see how the baby's doing. After all, her husband, who is a upstanding officer in this here city, means that we got a little bit of leverage to work with. One can hope, at the very least. Still, I think we're going to need a little bit more than leverage, so now I get to end up having a little bit of time. There's also that beauty from the diner. Wonder if she'll be showing up. Could be good. I also gotta end up here starting to talk to a few other people before everything winds down. End up seeing everybody now is already enjoying beer and brisket, so nothing is bringing her party quite together. Gotta stay away from the fire pit a bit, but that can be excused just because I keep doing the rounds. But still. There's also the problem with Marjani. Marjani doesn't particularly like Max. They have a disagreement or something. Honestly, it's not my real concern, but Marjani's gonna make it my concern, I can tell you what. That might be making me a little bit on edge. Still. Carnage, as he calls himself. Well, that left me smiling. Not something that happens too much these nights. So I can be appreciative of those little things.
He did say that your mama and him used to go way back, but currently don't like each other, if she still
No.
exists anymore.
You're right, if she exists. Fact of the matter is that I'm gonna need answers one way or another. Makes me wonder. Then I gotta look at the other members of my coterie. This little gang we got going on here. means we got a whole lot of other things we gotta end up considering. Faust seems to have been making himself busy chatting it up with gentlemen who appear to be in suits. Maybe just came right out of the office. I'm also kind of just finding myself scatter-minded, like a 410 shotgun spread out into the wind. Never know where the pellet's gonna land. But maybe that could be an advantage right now. After all, this is a big herd, one that I intend to develop.
That is certainly one way to look at all of this. Could it be that you develop it into a strictly feeding operation, but other things may develop into the more useful things? And so we are going to pick up just as Max or Carnage has left Maria and has gone back into the house, and Maria, you're left standing there for a moment, possibly going into the house shortly after him. But he's gone and made himself scarce, so far as you can tell. Not even stopping to taste the brisket. It's a shame. Tim did do a good job.
From what I can taste, though, that's mostly ash right now and be coming up as ash and blood.
Which may or may not be something that you have to deal with fairly shortly, if you've partaken of anything at this point. But there are people gathered around the fire pits, around Tim as he's continuing to prepare and slice, and people gathered around the side dishes table as well. Noel kind of perusing around that location for the moment. There's a group of others who are standing with plates and have kind of gathered, Sebastian and Amanda among those. It seems like there are quite a number of little groups that are forming in this barbecue, in this small backyard. So where is everyone?
Well, I am currently making my way inside to end up helping out Anita. It's a lot more quiet inside and means that the baby might be able to be put to sleep.
And you do ultimately see that Carnage, as you know him now, has left out the front door, walking towards maybe a vehicle. He's still walking down the sidewalk.
I take a quick pen and paper, write down the license plate.
If you watch him for long enough, you notice he doesn't actually go to a vehicle. Just starts
Where
walking
does
off.
he go? Man's on foot. Fascinating. Well, at least he doesn't park close enough for me to notice. Smart. Alright. Well, I guess I better go and see how the baby's doing.
And Anita has positioned herself where she's sitting in one of the chairs in what could only be described as a sitting room, and looks as if she's trying to get the baby to go to sleep, but she knows that she's probably going to have to leave soon if she wants to get this baby truly to bed. being 3 doesn't exactly help.
Oh. I walk up to her. Can I try?
She's kind of picky, but I suppose.
It's quite alright.
And the baby isn't quite asleep, but you notice that the baby does cling closer to Anita.
Oh, certainly. Just kind of hold it for a moment. You know, I imagine it must be hard. Newborn. And imagine you're working there more hours than you can count, and that and your husband makes things a little bit difficult. I can
It's
sympathize.
it's stressful, but it's the job of being a mom.
Sure is. I'm kind of partial myself. Fortunately, I don't think I'll ever be able to have kids.
Why? You're so young.
Medical complications.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It is what it is. But I like to end up helping out once in a while and try and imagine what once was.
There's always adoption.
Thought about it, but
If you really want one of your own, that's certainly an option.
I thought about it. I actually thought about it a lot a couple of years back. But a single mom ain't gonna end up helping much anyway. I think it's best if I settle down first. Kinda
Be
holding
amazed
the
about
baby.
be amazed how much you can do just on your own.
Well, that's okay. I end up taking the baby and just kind of rocking it over onto my shoulder.
The baby does start to fuss.
Oh, it's okay. It's okay.
And Anita just watches for a minute and then kind of motions to take her back. She's probably
Yeah.
just gonna get upset. I should take her home.
Yeah, probably. Is there a vase or something like that nearby?
High or low?
Hi.
Is whatever
Oh,
kind you
yeah,
would
this
like
is
it to be.
Glass.
And there definitely is a glass vase.
And while I'm handing over the baby, I'm gonna accidentally bump it over and let it shatter on the floor.
The bumping over and letting it shatter isn't going to be an issue, but I would like you to make a composure subterfuge.
Not my greatest, but I'm presuming she's a little bit more finicky on the baby than she is my actual abilities. So, it's a 1.
Okay. She instinctually kind of clings the baby close and also kind of fusses at you.
Oh. Oh no, I am so sorry.
And she looked like she was about to try and catch it as well, but then stops once it hits the floor and profusely apologizes and gets up from the chair just so that she isn't anywhere near the glass.
No, it's all right. I stopped picking up pieces of glass. I might have turned my back and bit into my own finger at that point. And as I'm picking it up, it's very clear I'm bleeding a little bit.
Oh, are you okay?
No, it's nothing. Nothing. I kind of use my teeth as though I'm trying to get the piece of glass out. I mean, that ain't nothing. Nothing. You want to kiss? Here, you want to kiss it better? And I'm gonna use compel. Oh,
Oh, okay. And she is not prepared for a compel, so it does work. She kind of glazes over and goes to kiss it better.
and I will use a rouse check for Domitor's favor.
All right, make the rouse. You're getting hungrier.
Wow, I didn't expect you to do that. That, that was weird.
Oh, what? What?
Are you okay?
Yeah. Uh, yes. You asked me to, didn't you?
Yeah, well, I made a joke. I didn't expect you to do it.
Oh.
I,
Okay.
you must be sweet on me. Here, let you go and hey, you go and help out the baby. You get ready. Um, I'll I'll end up cleaning this up, and maybe we'll talk tomorrow night when it's just a little bit more quiet and not a whole bunch of hoo ha in the back.
Yeah. She needs to get to bed anyway.
The
It's
baby needs to
late.
sleep. I'll catch you while I'm out jogging before I go to bed tomorrow night.
Right. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go
Hey,
let Deacon know that we're gonna leave.
hey,
Uh huh.
Anita. Um, maybe I'm just a little paranoid, but for the sake of, you and your husband, maybe we shouldn't mention the whole kissing it better thing. Then that's just gonna be weird.
Yeah. I don't know what came over me.
I don't know either. That's funny.
I promise. I'm not a weirdo. I'm really not.
It's okay. It's okay. Just maternal instinct kicking in. I'm sure.
Right. Yeah, that's what it was. Okay. I'm gonna leave.
Hey,
Uh huh.
yeah, say goodbye.
Oh. Goodbye.
Take care of yourself, Anita. I'll see you soon.
Okay. And she starts to walk towards the towards the barbecue pit to go and tell her husband that she would like to leave.
Kind of sit there, fixing up the glass. At this point, I don't really care. Kind of just pull it all in, sweep it up, toss it in the garbage can. Do a small band-aid we kept under the sink. This ain't the first time I considered this kind of thing. Well, as I'm doing so, kind of looking over out the backyard window and taking a look at all the people there. A smile. That's a start.
And you see for a moment that though they may have disappeared for a moment, Samantha and her friends have also rejoined the crowd.
Fantastic.
You didn't notice that they were gone for a moment, but you certainly noticed that they're back now.
Anything different?
Not particularly, but it is a cursory glance.
Of course. I'm gonna start walking on up. Get in the back once I have a band-aid on and all that fun stuff.
And they're not talking with that person that they were talking with before. They're alone now.
What was their name?
Uh, the person they were talking to introduced himself as Tyrell.
Tyrell.
Or no, Wesley.
A lot to keep track of. Funny thing. Still, I can be grateful. I'm starting to make my way into the back, and I think it's about that time. Whoever's closer, either one of the group that has just recently arrived, or I'd like to end up making my way to the father at this point, Father Renfield.
You can join the group that where Father Renfield is, and
I think this is about the time we should cut to another individual.
all right. So Maria is joining this group over here. Oh hooray! Where are you headed? Where have you been for this last moment?
Was that question aimed at me? I'm sorry, it cut out there for a second.
No, I said a hooray.
Oh, right. Okay. It is
Alright.
not coming through the mic.
Oh, your mic is not.
Is it working now?
There it is.
There we go.
Awesome. So Ray has been wandering about the party, kind of just sticking with Marjani for now, and they kind of migrate over towards Agent Moore and that group down in the corner there.
Okay, so you'll be there before Maria arrives.
Agent Moore, how you doing?
Ray, right?
Yeah, and Miss O'Leary, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Nice to see you guys here. Hey Duncan, how you doing?
I'm fine.
I'd like to introduce you guys to Miss Kalu here. She runs a bar in the area.
Yeah, I have the tiger. And well, the older gentleman, one of the older gentlemen speaks up. The one with the beard says, "Oh yeah, I've been to that place. It's pretty nice." And Marjani says, "Well, thank you."
It's great. It's one of the better places in the area, I reckon.
You don't need to flatter me that much.
Not flattering, telling the truth.
Right.
I'm Ray, for those of you that don't know me. Can I get names?
And they introduce themselves. You see Sophia Duncan, your friend Olivia's partner, a man named Kyle Dupree, and introduces his wife Julia, a woman named Terry Flores, and a man named Frank Haynes.
Nice. You guys all local or just visiting the area?
You hear from Terry, and she says, "No, I'm from this neighborhood. I actually got an invitation passed around through another person," and she points over to Tim and says, "Tim invited me."
Oh, right. He's a friend of Maria's, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's
Well, welcome, and it's nice to meet you.
pleasure to meet you too. And Kyle says that Sophia invited him since he lived in the neighborhood.
Yep.
And
Fantastic. It's nice to meet you all. Glad you all came.
Pleasure.
Have you guys tried the brisket yet?
And all of them around the circle kind of nod.
What do you think?
It's fantastic, says Father Renfield.
I'm glad to hear it. Tim's done a good job.
He's
So,
spot on.
what do you guys... Pardon?
Father says, "Spot on." It's great.
It's definitely not what I'm used to, but it's definitely good.
You definitely
So,
sound foreign, Father
oh,
Renfield says.
I'm Aussie, so, you know.
I didn't want to assume, so.
Ah. A lot of people tend to notice it because my accent's so different.
Right.
Um, what do you guys do?
Father Renfield kind of looks at his clothing because he's got that priest collar on, and says, I think it's a little obvious, but
Oh, yeah. You got a church or chapel in the area?
yeah, just about 5 blocks down that road there.
Oh, nice, nice. Got a big flock?
Nah,
Flock?
and
Is that what
it's
they call it?
a congregation. It's kind of small,
Congregation.
but you know, most of the locals here know me. Most of them who
Nice,
do go to
nice.
church go to mine. So
I might have to pop in at some point. Not usually a religious type, but
oh, you're
might be
welcome
time
to.
for a change in faith.
We don't shy away from anyone coming to visit. And
Nice.
and uh, Kyle pipes up and says that he's also a police officer, and Julia's more of an office worker.
Well, thanks for your service, Officer Dupree.
I
And
appreciate that. And you notice that his accent is a little thick. It's not terribly thick, but he does have a little bit of a thick accent. Him and Julia.
say, what's that accent you guys have got?
Oh, you notice it, huh? It's
Yeah.
Montreal.
Oh wow. So like, you guys aren't local to here, or?
We moved here several years back.
Ah, right. God, your name sounds so familiar. Dupree.
You probably have heard of our daughter. She's
Oh?
kind of a local model.
Oh, really?
Name's Amber.
Maybe? I don't know. Have I heard of her?
Intelligence politics.
Ah.
No clue. In fact, that's a bestial failure.
Oof. Nah, I haven't heard of her.
Let's roll and see what your compulsion is, my friend. That is a 10. That is a clan compulsion. You are under the
Oh,
gangrel
no.
compulsion.
Sorry, what was that?
You are under your gangrel compulsion.
Wait, I can't remember what that was.
I don't remember what that was either, and I don't have my book pulled up, but
Feral
Oh,
impulses. It's on page 210. Returning to an animalistic state, the vampire regresses to a point where speech is hard, clothes are uncomfortable, and arguments are best funneled with teeth and claws. For one scene, the vampire gains a 3 dice penalty to all rolls involving manipulation and intelligence. They can only speak in one-word sentences during this time. Yeah, real bad at the
yes.
moment.
Oh, no.
You, my friend, have kind of reverted to animalistic-like speech. You're not sure what it is about that name Dupree, but that causes you to clam up. You do not want to talk about her.
She kind of nods and, she gives Marjani a tap on the shoulder
What?
and just gives her a look and, starts to walk off. Giving them a wave.
She looks a little bit confused as you walk away. And you have left the rest of them to discuss amongst themselves.
She's actually gonna head to the nearest. She's probably gonna go inside.
All right. So you have gone into the house. Noel, what are you doing? Are you still attempting to get brisket?
After seeing that Max has disappeared,
Mm-hmm.
no, I am not. I'm just gonna go and, you know what? I'm gonna go over and see what Faust is doing, because Faust is talking to Yuri and Mr. Sawyer right now, and I'd like to check in with Faust, see how he's doing.
Okay.
Also, have a chance to talk to Mr. Sawyer, see how Mr. Sawyer is doing.
Okay. And Faust, upon conversing with these people for quite a bit today, you've done a little bit of mingling and introducing, but you've been speaking at length with Yuri and with Charles, because Charles seems to be a financial lawyer, in so much that he frequently works with the financial companies of the city, the banks, the investment firms, the stockholders, things of that sort, and works as mostly a consultant, but sometimes does take on uh, actual lawsuits in regards to financial institutions, and so he goes over some of the more boring things, and when Noel has arrived to meet all of you together.
When he arrives, we start chuckling to each other. And Noel hears Faust just go off. Oh, goodness gracious. That man is in so much trouble. A whole GameStop conundrum. Robin Hood my ass. Pardon.
Oh, are we talking about the entire thing with Reddit and how the hedge funds are currently absolutely on fire?
Mr. Stoneford, yes, we are. What a fantastic topic it's been. Oh, goodness. So many people, though. It's really fascinating how so many people. The stock market acts as its own form of legislation in this manner, where everyone has the ability to make their own determination of where a product is sent, where it goes, and the flow of money. It's fantastic. I'm just overwhelmed that that this is just it's always been contemplated that people could perform this kind of activity, correct? But now it's showing that he keeps going off and rambling about his joy about it.
Yuri's just grinning at you this entire time, and Charles looks a little stoic. He's not making it very clear what his opinion is one way or the other. You get the sense that that's part of his profession.
Oh, and I admire it. Though I am a little curious, I turn to Mr. Sawyer here. Where's your stance, sir? How are you feeling about this? What do you believe the ruling will be, and where do you think that this market is going to go in the future? I predict that it's going to drop for a little bit and then return back up to a higher trade value once the hearings have passed over.
Well, I'm not exactly a stocks expert. I'm more of a I more deal with the fallout of such endeavors, and
Of course.
thus, if it were to come to a kind of class action lawsuit of any kind, then certainly I'd have a stake in the matter, but at this point, right now, no.
Oh heavens, it's federal. I'm really curious. Do tell me a bit about it. where's your position on this?
Well,
How do you rather, I suppose, who do you think will be receiving who do you think would be on the receiving end of judicial punishment on this?
If
What
there
is
is
your
any judicial punishment to be had.
that correct, Mr. Stoneford? Just enthrall me for a second. I'm very curious to hear about your legal expertise on this. Enthuse me.
and he goes into the ins and outs of what could be and what couldn't be, and all of the other back and forth of the boring work that is investment law. And you get the sense that he's still not really weighing in on the subject. You get the sense that maybe he's of two minds.
Two minds. He likes seeing both sides.
It'll if at any point it becomes some kind of issue where the legal trouble starts happening, he'll get paid for it. But he's not entirely sure that that's 100% his motive right now.
Opportunity first. I like this man more and more. Once he's done going on about it, I spark. I'm like, oh my goodness. I completely forgot. I'm so sorry. Mr. Stoneford, this is Mr. Ivanov and Mr. Sawyer. Please, make your acquaintance here. I'm so sorry I didn't think about it sooner.
Oh, it's a pleasure to see you, Noel, Charles says.
Pleasure to see you too, Mr. Sawyer. You see, Mr. Buford, Mr. Sawyer and I are personally acquainted. I was looking to get into law myself at one point, and
And you would
Mr.
have made an
Sawyer
excellent
was a
student.
mentor of mine.
Mentor? I never took you for the variety to have such law, huh? I just think about it.
Law,
It makes a lot of sense now. That explains a lot about you.
it's more about using your intelligence to outwit your opponent. In often cases, using the evidence presented to you. It's just as much a performance
Yes.
as it is about the facts.
It's a mix. It's a mixture of a game of chess and a moving bout of oration.
And you would have made
You
an
must be able to
excellent
win
lawyer.
minds and hearts. I thank you for the compliment.
It's a shame you didn't pursue your studies further.
I should have, but other things came up.
As
The heart
life tends
wants
to
what
do.
it wants. Of course.
That's, go ahead, Mr. Stoneford.
I was just going to say, Mr. Buford, you seem to have an eye for the stock market. If you get the capital together, why don't you make investments in go into some stock options, do some futures trading?
Oh, heavens, I was actually thinking about that.
You know that.
You see-
Yuri kind of pipes up and says, "You know that you can always go through my firm, right?"
I was actually thinking about contacting you on that. You see, I don't know about you, but I find this neighborhood to be absolutely fantastic. It's a small and quaint space, and I think it has a lot of potential. I see that there are small families being grown here and being raised. I see the opportunity to provide them with parks, recreation, facilities from which they can start growing. And I think having some degree of property investment would probably benefit the area most definitely.
Oh, that's
We
more
could-
real estate than it is my expertise.
It is real estate, but every venture into real estate requires some capital, and capital requires more capital and investment.
It's fairly
Stock
One
housing.
to fund another.
Housing
and
is a valid trade.
it's true. but you kind of need the starting capital, and I would imagine that's where creating some initial investments is going to come in. You and I'll talk about that, at some other point where we're not boring people.
Absolutely. Though, of course, between us gentlemen here, I don't believe many of us are too bored with passing along such extravagant ideas.
And Yuri just chuckles.
But no, you weren't a firm, Mr. Ivanov. That's quite interesting, actually.
Well, not own, but I'm a, how do you put it? I trade stocks for people. I'm an indexer.
You're an indexer. Very useful trade, that.
Indubitably, Mr. Ivanov has been quite the resourceful gentleman here. He's been a wonderful friend.
I have an eye for these things. If you,
And I,
Interesting.
you got the right cash.
an expertise, I'd argue.
I wouldn't go so that far.
Do not sell yourself short, Mr. Ivanov. You should know better than anyone not to do that.
Well, trends seem to be my specialty, so
Well, being able to analyze a pattern, especially in that line of work, is a talent worth its weight in, well, not even gold. Platinum, iridium, take your pick. Or something much more expensive than gold.
all of which you can invest in, Mr. Stoneford.
I've thought about it. I have. Investing some capital into such things doesn't sound like a bad idea, especially since the prices of platinum and iridium never tank because of natural scarcity. But well, I mean, when you have to mine iridium from meteor fragments and whatnot. But I'm in talks with some others to discuss my options, and maybe once I've got everything sorted out, I might be looking to you for a little bit of assistance on making those buys and sells, if you know what I mean.
And you see that Yuri goes into his jacket pocket and pulls out a card and says, "Feel free to contact me anytime, and I'll see what I
Happily.
can do for you."
And I'll take that and slip that into my jacket, because also wearing it at the moment. Sorry, sorry. What was just said in the secret chat kind of cracked me up a little. But no, no. But Noel turns to to Charles and goes, "I am really glad that you could make it, though, Mr. Sawyer. It is good to see you."
It's good to see you too, Noel.
Out of curiosity, you say there is mentorship here. Was it which university did, or was it more so an internship that you two participated in?
That's actually a very good question. Give me just a second out of character to think about that. So just as a little talk between you and I, Coffee, as the
Yes.
ST to a player,
Yes.
I am thinking that Noel met Charles through some networking at the university, UT Houston.
Okay.
Because that's where he would have done his.
And Charles would be a connected person at UTSA then.
Yeah. So he was at UTSA, like maybe as a fellow of the law school or whatever.
Yeah.
And Noel met him through networking events. It's like, I met Mr. Sawyer through some networking events.
Yes, to the University of Texas.
Yes, I used to go to UT Houston. It's where I got my degrees in theology from. And through networking events, he and I met and figured that we had quite a bit in common, just as far as general knowledge goes. And so we've kept in contact, and I've learned quite a large amount about law, and especially financial law. trying to justify our one dot finance here.
And
Learned quite a bit about law in general, but also quite a bit about financial law. So, knowing how to navigate such a field should it ever come up in,
boring conversation.
well, boring conversation, or whether the knowledge would come to use in navigating what some people would consider a minefield of the financial markets. Whether that be housing, whether that be, dealing with conveyancing, whether that be stock options, whether that be other investments, commodity investments, company investments, just general civil and corporate law.
Yes, and
It's very useful. It's just very useful knowledge to have all around.
lots of people find it very boring, but Noel, you seem to have a very fond outlook on it. I'm surprised you went into theology instead.
I had a bit of a revelation. Rather, when I was younger. Just thoughts creeping into my mind about all sorts of different things, and so I decided to turn my focus to philosophy, and more specifically to the philosophy behind religion. Why people feel compelled.
You'd probably have an interesting conversation with Father Renfield then.
I could, but the issue between those who study theology and those who practice the faiths that theologians look at, is that some of the outlooks on religion that theologists can have are not so kind to the narrative that the practitioners of the faith wish to tell.
Isn't that the way?
Isn't that the way? And I couldn't help but be honest, and I wouldn't... Whilst it would make for an interesting conversation, I wouldn't want to upset the father any.
I don't know that he'd be upset at all. I think he would actually find it an engaging conversation. He's a little more practical than most priests.
That would make him quite a bit different than his contemporaries, and as such, maybe I might have a talk with him.
He's certainly an interesting individual.
Is this still in character or out of character? At what point did that transition occur?
Oh,
it's in character now.
This is in character. The out of character stuff ended once we had decided that Noel met through networking and while he was at UT Houston studying theology.
See. Okay.
Yeah. So that was my bad for not deprecating that. Yeah. But if you have anything to comment, please do.
Mr. Stoneford, you're a man of many surprises.
What can I say? Variety is the spice of life.
And Yuri just kind of grins.
If I might say, I could use the assistance. I myself have a invested interest in improving the neighborhood, as I said. If I could, Mr. Sawyer, I think it would be most beneficial if we decided to take up the opportunity to see what we can do together. If you don't mind building a professional relationship, I'd like to offer that.
I would hope that you would never need my services as either a prosecutor or a defendant, but you're welcome to get in contact with Noel and see if something should come up. I do work on a contract.
Mr. Stoneford?
An interesting proposal. I'm definitely open to such things.
More of an educator these days, but I do offer contracts from time to time.
Knowledge is its own form of power. I admire it.
Oh, that it is.
Certainly.
The man who controls the flow of information controls the world.
Yes.
Also, it is said.
Most certainly.
But they've also
No,
said about power that power corrupts and absolute power corrupts absolutely.
Absolutely. Oh, that it does.
You as a philosopher should know that, Mr. Stoneford.
Oh, you are exactly right. So therefore, what is a man to do but walk the fine line, the knife's edge between
Between ambition and corruption.
purity, between ambition and corruption? One must ask themselves, what am I content with in this world? How much power am I content to have? And if I want it all,
Who am I willing to burn to get it?
and what kind of price will come back on my head if I do?
There's always a price, isn't there?
Always a price. Nothing in this world is ever free.
Well said.
Cheers to that.
Cheers to that. I would have, I most likely would have grabbed a drink
Mm-hmm.
on my way over. And I've still got Blush of Life from when I blushed earlier
Yeah.
to interact, so I'd make the cheers and take some back, and God, it tastes like ass. But
Out of
Faust.
character. Out of character.
Yes.
Do I have Blush of Life active? Is that something you did for Faust?
I did
Last
not
session.
roll a rouse check, so if you want it on, I will let it be I will also allow it to be a retroactive.
Okay.
retroactive rust check.
I do think he would have thought about that, so.
Yeah, well, everyone did.
I wouldn't
so,
have
and it would
penalized you
make
because
sense.
since you weren't here last session, I've just had Faust in the background doing his mingling.
Yeah, cheers to that.
Cheers to that.
Just pretend I took the whole shot. It's fine.
And your rouse?
Oh, my rouse right now?
Yes, you do.
'Cause I did not do
Still
that
need
for
to
you.
make the check for it.
Okay. Well, this is gonna be fun. Please, dice. Give me the good juju. Boink.
You are
Good juju.
getting hungrier, Mr. Buford.
Bad juju.
Bad juju. What is your hunger at, my friend?
4.
Oh,
Bad juju.
bad juju. Bad,
Bad
juju,
juju.
indeed.
God, I hate this.
So, while everything is definitely very worded very smoothly, Faust, it's starting to grumble at you. It's getting louder. It's getting harder to focus on the conversation and be cordial.
Well, with that, gentlemen, I have other rounds to make. I am acting as one of the hosts here tonight, and I just want to make sure that I'm able to introduce myself to everyone and get everyone comfortable. That being said, thank you so much for joining me this evening.
And Charles and Yuri kind of give you a little bit of a cheers with their glass, and you're free to move about the conversation or leave them behind if you like.
I turn to Mr. Stoneford and I give him a wink, and just proceed.
And Noel would crack a little smile.
We'll let the scene move to Mr. Stoneford then. On that note.
Okay. Where do you head? Where are you going, Faust?
I decide it's time that I went ahead and joined the larger group.
Over by the
It's
fire
kind of a
pit?
risk. By the fire pit? Oh no, not by the fire pit.
Oh, you're gonna wanna join Maria?
The group that I am wanting to get near right now is I would like to speak with Detective Moore.
Okay.
Where is he with?
He's with Maria at this time. Because Maria's
So
already
yes.
headed that over there.
Wonderful. We'll
So,
make nice.
Noel, you're left alone with these two.
Yes. I can't think of exactly what to say right now, but it's probably going to devolve into conversations about basic conversation about philosophy and about their work and about
Hmm.
Stuff that's already been like set up in that manner.
Yeah. And they're more than happy to talk to you about the ins and outs of their work. Yuri's already handed you his card. You already know Charles.
Charles.
And
Yeah, so it's just going to be talking, just basic catch up and stuff like that. Nothing that you really don't really want to get bogged down into the minutiae of
yeah, bunch of small
per
talk.
se. Yeah, it's a bunch of small talk. So
you're doing that.
yeah, and making sure that Amanda O'Leary can't fucking see me.
And
That's just looking at Maria like, keep her busy, keep her busy.
and so Ray, you have an absolute itch to just throw off all of your clothing and go revert to animalhood for a moment. Where do you go?
Ray makes her way inside, and she's very hurried about this. As she passes Maria, she gives Maria a nod and just keeps on going. Makes her way inside, makes her way upstairs to the room that she's made her own, shuts the door, and just strips.
And the intent
She
is
kind of-
just to wait it out.
Yep.
How long does that last? A scene?
Just a scene.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
just a scene.
Nothing triggers it to stop.
Nope.
Not particularly,
just a scene.
no.
Okay.
Just a scene.
She just kind of paces back and forth in the room for a bit, kind of trying to keep herself under control. She's hungry. She's not in her right state of mind right now, and she can't afford to mess this up for everybody else.
And all of those people out there look like delicious morsels.
Exactly.
All of them. Including Olivia. Including Angie. All of them.
Not tonight.
Yes, tonight.
Not
Come on.
tonight.
Come on, somebody.
You'll
Please.
have your chance, but not now.
But right now is the perfect time. There's so many.
Right now is the worst time.
Oh, come on.
Not tonight. I'll feed you later, I promise. But not with one of these.
Always later. I just want to rip
Later.
something to pieces.
She picks up one of the pieces of furniture and she just digs her fingers into it. Then let it be something not living.
No, I want this feel of flesh in our teeth. I want the feel of flesh in our fingernails.
No.
You know that's gonna happen every time, right? Every time we feed, I have to have that taste of flesh in my mouth.
That's fine. But not tonight. Not with these
Nobody's gonna
ones.
miss a leg.
Oh, everybody will miss a leg.
Or a kidney. You can reach in and just rip one out.
Can't afford that right now.
Fine. But the next time we do, they're mine. I will have my way with them.
We'll see.
So Hooray is in her room, trying to fight back the urges to go and rip some of her closest friends and their closest friends to pieces. We're going to rejoin this lovely little group of people, where Faust has come into the conversation just as Maria and Marjani are walking up.
As I enter, I see Maria. Miss Higgs. Good evening.
Just Maria right now.
I feel like we've been so busy this evening, I haven't seen you all night. And for the
Well,
rest,
you were talking about some stuff that was pretty boring, so
indeed, it's not anything most people really care to talk about. Now I'm interested in speaking with everyone else. How is everyone this evening? Are you all enjoying it? How are you tonight? I activate presence.
And you're welcome to activate presence.
I believe that requires a check on my part.
If you want to resist Faust's alluring
My
Uh,
awe.
awe.
Well, try to, but not a big dice pool for me.
Most of the other people in this particular group seem pretty enthralled with you, Mr. Buford.
Oh, wonderful. I look over to Sebastian Moore
Mm-hmm.
and I raise my glass to him. It's so wonderful to see you again. I'm so happy you could make it. How are you this evening? How's this whole festivity been for you?
It's been fine. I'm enjoying the briskets, and I'm very curious to meet everyone here. It's definitely an interesting thing.
You seem so out of place.
I'm a little socially awkward. I do apologize.
No. We're all neighbors here.
I just laugh, and I'm like, oh, come now, Mr. Moore. Us suits, we can make the most of this. Come on, you and I can have a chat. Let's get comfortable. And I just walk up and get close to him, and I raise my glass to him to sort of like cheers at him.
And he
No need,
raises his
no need
glass
to be
to
so
you.
nervous. We're all friends here. We're neighbors and whatnot.
Sorry,
Heavens.
you said. Sorry, you said a conversation. We could talk right here. It's fine.
Absolutely. I'm kind of curious. You said you're from out of town. What made you decide to come out this way? What do you like about San Antonio?
I'm actually out for work.
Oh,
I'm a researcher.
researcher. Is there like some sort of big, are you like researching some sort of project like the local frogs and wildlife or?
Yeah, something to that effect.
Should I be concerned about the water?
No, not.
Okay. She kind of raises a beer. I was afraid I'd have to go full time.
No.
She takes a swig.
Thankfully, it's not something you need to worry about.
Oh, hopefully not. Really do appreciate this small slice of heaven we have here. Need to make sure to take care of everyone around here.
Certainly.
Isn't that right?
And
Small slice of heaven.
And
You hear
Amanda's
that?
just being rather quiet.
Who is?
Amanda. She's just
Amanda?
watching you.
Okay. I go ahead and raise my glass to her, just to sort of point. What about you, little miss? I haven't seen you too much. You didn't have too much opportunity to speak. A bit on the softer side. You from out of town as well?
First of all, Little Miss is the wrong thing.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
And you notice that she's speaking with a very Irish accent, and I'm not doing it very good. But she's definitely foreign.
Miss O'Leary. So sorry about that. I do remember you.
Yeah, you shit.
You have a very powerful air about you. See you just watching everyone like a hawk here. You enjoying the party, or are you just sort of a wallflower type?
No, I'm enjoying myself.
That's good. I'm glad. If you ever need anything, you need additional refreshments, or you have any concerns, please do feel free to come up to either Miss Higgs over here, Maria, or myself. We're more than happy to accommodate you.
Are you both so formal?
Well, not normally, but Faust is trying to teach me.
Right.
I just look over to Sebastian. I'm like, and this is where I'm awkward. I don't know how to turn off the business.
Right. Same. Really?
That's why I'm drinking. I just wink at him.
That being said,
He actually wants to insight check you.
Who's the insight checking?
Sebastian wants to insight check Faust to see if that's actually his true intentions.
okay.
I believe I'm helping cover, so there is a +1 for.
There's an assistance. Yep.
Alright, what do I roll to really pull off this whole I'm drinking because I'm awkward?
Manipulation
as a player-
subterfuge.
Manipulation subterfuge. Me as a player am actually doing that, so. And that's a +1. Cool. Good juju.
Ooh.
Why are you like this? Alright, I want to roll willpower.
Well, let him roll this insight first. See what you're up against.
Alright.
You know. Ooh, this is actually doable. Where's
Okay. Bonk. 3 dice.
come on? Ah.
Only 1.
You notice his brows kind of cock at you, and his head kind of quirks a little bit, but he's going along with it. But he's looking at you very inquisitively.
I am inquisitively indeed. I don't know if I mentioned it, but in every other situation, everyone has seen me in this like black suit, super formal, and I show up to this party in this bright, like this neon green and bright pink flamingo, ridiculous like suit. You know, white slacks, cardigan, just the works.
This is why you're inquisitive to him.
What's that?
Your intent was to draw the attention, and he's definitely
Oh,
caught by your attention.
Oh, yes. I am in full vacation mode, apparently. Martini's in the office. Ah! I say that one out loud.
Sure. I thought I was the awkward one.
Well, not everybody here tries to do their best around here. That being said, I met Sebastian, Amanda, and I believe I've already been introduced to Sophia and Terry. I've probably already exchanged names before Faust got here.
Yeah,
Um,
and Mr. and Mrs. Dupree.
and the Duprees. I'm kind of curious about that portion of it. But I'm certainly garnered attention from the father as I want to end up discussing particulars with the individual. My day job ends up keeping me open quite a bit, but I am curious about any later some after hours functions of the church as to end up keeping on here being here part after all being part of the congregation means you're part of a community.
That's fair enough, the father says.
I start to end up I ask if I can end up pulling him aside as a pretty bit of well questions myself.
The Duprees, Sophia, and Terry start to walk off, and Marjani is also starting to walk off anyway.
I'm assuming they're having a nice little discussion.
And so, if you want a private conversation with Father Renfield, you may have it.
I would love to end up doing so.
Okay.
I'd have given my best to Amanda, Sebastian, Frank, and of course Faust. Though,
Frank goes to go get some more brisket.
as he should. Tim did a hell of a job on it.
So, Faust, you're left with Amanda and Sebastian.
Well then, this party is all well and good, but I'm kind of concerned. How have you two been acclimating? I know moving around and traveling can be a bit hard. I've been doing quite a bit of it myself. I recently also moved into the neighborhood.
Yes.
But I've had benefit of roommates, of course.
Roommates can be a tiresome thing.
Or wonderful. How about yourselves? Also roommates, or?
Not in the slightest. Just work partners.
I see.
As we
You
said
two
before.
Right. Are you working in the same office, or is it like separate locations? Do you have a lot of interaction on that note?
It's more of a private partnership. I'm sure you know all about that, Mr. Beaufort, the man who was on the cover of Forbes magazine while he was living in Houston. Under
You
the
cut out on me.
finance heading, if I remember correctly.
You're right. Yes. I have a bit of a reputation that precedes me there.
I'm a fan of your work.
Oh, thank you. I really do try my best. It's fantastic, really. Being able to actually bring some degree of justice in certain details. I'd like to tell you a bit about that, but I suppose it would be for a better time. Maybe over coffee.
Or coffee.
So, there's this wonderful local diner that I've been going to lately, and I absolutely love it. It's just within the realm of discreet enough. People don't really come up over after hours, but it's mostly a 24/7 kind of diner. I believe on Sundays it tends to close at around 3 a.m. though. I have a bit of a late night because all throughout the day I tend to be working in the office and busy doing paperwork and just all of this, just a whole bunch of office work. But after
and where
hours,
exactly is this?
the office. And I provide them with my financial firm, financial advisory office, and let them know my expertise. And I just point out, I did offer you my card. It's not for just funsies there. I'm serious though. If I have a expertise in it.
So, Mr. Beaufort, do you, and this is me out of character as your ST, do you have a mask?
Do I have a mask?
Yes. Do you have a mask as the merit or the background?
I do not.
So you are actually legally on the payroll of this firm?
Well, it's my private business.
Oh, okay.
So, legally, I'm an independent contractor.
Ah, okay. Because Sebastian would have researched you.
Oh, I'm sure he did. And I'm sure he would find that this is brand new. I didn't really do this whole financial thing until recently. This office is brand new.
Hmm. Very interesting. Owner of his own business.
Yes. How did you know about that?
Did a little bit of research. As I said, I'm a researcher.
Indubitably. Man of
And I'm a
intelligence.
fan of your work, as I did say. Thus, I've been following you. A little less officially, like on social media, but some might accuse me of being a stalker. But at the same time, if I'm going to be interacting with people, I need to know who they are.
I see.
Nothing I couldn't Google, anyway.
Ah, I see how it is. So you've been planning to have a conversation with me. Huh, I'm absolutely flattered, Mr. Moore. Definitely. Oh, goodness. You know, it's really a funny thing. Most people don't really talk to others much about when it comes to legal and financial information. Coincidentally, there happens to be a financial lawyer just over that way. This Mr. Sawyer is a wonderful consultant. I think he would have a lot more, intellectually speaking, wonderful conversation to have there. I definitely had fun speaking with him.
I'll certainly have to give.
Additionally, if you're looking for a little bit more fun conversation, Mr. Stoneford has been an excellent advisor on this note. If you're curious, you want to talk more, please do. Give me a call there, and I just sort of tap my breast pocket just to sort of indicate, like, yeah, the card. Remember my card.
Yes, I do. I do still have your card, Mr. Bilford.
Wonderful. I wouldn't want to miss a step with you. I want to get in touch, but there's neither here nor there.
I'm actually rather curious as to why you're so interested in me.
I just do enjoy men in suits. I guess you could see it's a thing about authority.
He again cocks a brow at you. Perhaps you've had a little too much to drink, Mr. Beaufort.
Potentially. No flirting with that.
And
Miss O'Leary, it's been wonderful speaking with you as well. I'm so happy you could also make it.
I figured
My extension. Oh, yes. My extension also draws out to you as well. If you happen to need anything, need assistance acclimating, or even if you just need someone to help see you home, please do let me know. I'm available in the neighborhood, and I find it very imperative that I protect my invested interests here, and that is the people who are involved.
Right. If I ever need an escort, I'll let you know.
Thank you. Of course.
Not that
definitely.
I need an escort, I can take care of myself.
Absolutely. You seem like a powerful woman. I like that. And wink at her.
And she finds the flirting very strange.
Very what?
Very strange. To her, it seems a little out of nowhere, but that could just be her.
I'm wearing a fucking suit with pink flamingos. Can't they tell?
Yes, you are a very strange individual, and that's why they're giving you looks.
Not strange. Have they never met a gay person? Like, damn. They never seen a bisexual in their life. All right. Anyway. Being said, if you ever want to get in touch with me, you have my card, my number, and my office, apparently, Mr. Moore.
I'll let you
Do
know
take
if I need anything, Mr. Beaufort.
Wonderful.
I'm curious,
Well,
what drew you to San Antonio?
where do I what?
What drew you to San Antonio?
People.
People.
It's... Yeah. This particular neighborhood, actually, is just... It's so quaint, so cute. Obviously, being in finances, I thought it would be fantastic to help support the community, build it up a bit.
I also thought that your invested interest might be further downtown.
Oh, don't you worry. I got some work going on down there as well. But
Right.
I think it's imperative to work with, you know, your local community. Be proactive with them and be supportive.
Certainly. That's my intention as well.
Wonderful. See, we have vested interests, and I pat him on the shoulder. I think you and I could get along fabulously, Mr. Moore.
How did you say
Two
it?
peas in a pod.
Indubitably?
Indubitably.
It's a very Sherlock Holmes of you.
Hey, that role is up to you, detective.
Agent.
Agent. Oh, right. Shh. Gotcha. Were we not, though? You take care, both of you. It's been fantastic seeing you. And, I move on to interacting with... Who else did I want to talk to? Wesley.
Wesley. Alright.
You keep cutting out, Coffee. You keep... Your mic just...
Is it bad?
Like, it just... I stop hearing you. Like, it's just... Like, there's no noise. And I keep missing information, and I know it's driving me nuts.
Is that better?
I gotta know. Maybe it's just distance.
Yeah, because I'm like...
Speak very subtly into the mic.
Yes,
Give
I'm
me
trying.
that sweet ASMR.
Trying not to be loud here. And so I
Then
turned
you're
my...
gonna have
I turned my mic sensitivity down. So... Faust has gone on a little bit of a trip of his own towards someone else and left Sebastian and Amanda on their own. Maria, you're speaking with Father Renfield.
I end up having the father end up approaching with me, pulling to the side, away from the fire and all the light, mostly to get a little bit of privacy. Honestly, I don't know what I'm going to end up saying to him. Given my own upbringing and my own prayers at the start and end of every night, it makes me wonder.
How are you doing tonight, Maria?
Concerned.
About?
A lot of things. You know, I haven't been to confession in almost 6 months.
Any particular reason why?
Timing.
Timing.
Yeah. Part of my day-to-day always ends up meaning that I'm left afterwards. Hell, I still need to end up praying for forgiveness on the fact that I always work on Sundays.
Yeah, I'm sure the Lord is very accommodating. But you're welcome. You're welcome to come by. You're welcome to come by the church, and because we are open after hours and late in the evening.
You
on
extend
certain
an
days.
invitation, little old me.
Of course. You're a member of the community.
Yeah, it's the community that I'm worried about there, Father. And while I know that you yourself end up taking confession and all, and you're sworn to secrecy, there's a part of me that still ends up feeling a bit concerned. Yeah, I'm hearing about the house down the block, owned by, what was it, the Ramirez family?
Yeah, I heard about that.
I don't know. What's your take on all this?
The Lord eventually brings judgment upon those who sin. But he's also merciful.
I try and believe that.
Forgiveness is free for all who seek it.
Maybe. Though I have to end up wondering. Guess that's between me and him, huh?
If there's any questions I can answer, the Lord works in mysterious ways. So what's got you so concerned? We're not exactly in confession.
No, suppose not. I guess with all this talk about neighborhood watch and certain things I'm trying to install in the community, good old values.
Hmm.
Yeah,
It's not a terrible
I'm
idea.
looking at. Well, that requires a lot of communal support. It requires, well, capital for one. Requires manpower. Requires those who are willing to stay up a lot of late nights. Requires those who are gonna do, and I'm willing to put that sacrifice out there. But I look at all these faces,
Mm-hmm.
and the idea horrifies me that there might be someone who's not what they seem. Well, I guess that can be said for all of us. I'm always concerned.
The things that are unseen in regards to a specific person are between them and the Lord, of course. And you have to trust that the Almighty is all-seeing and all-knowing. And whatever you're concerned about, the consequences will come. You can voice your concerns, certainly, but... And if there's something that you can do about it, then perhaps get confirmation. It's a tricky thing, because leveling accusations against someone is...
That's just it. I don't ever want it to be just accusations. And I don't ever want to end up doing that to my neighbor. I'm more looking around and trying to end up figuring out how I can be a service to my community, to those around me. And,
be available.
well, I wouldn't exactly say it's all altruistic, but figure if there's anybody who knows what the neighborhood needs, anybody who knows what everybody's clamoring for, would be their reverend.
The neighborhood has been dealing with a bit of a rough patch with the drug trade. That is for certain. That's been going on for a while, though.
Yeah, well,
People
it's
lock
not
their
like I'm
doors and
gonna
bar the windows because they don't feel they can
don't
go
feel
out at
safe.
night. This
Yeah.
isn't the safest neighborhood. And all of us gathered here together doesn't include some of the more shady folk, I would assume.
Anybody I should be watching out for?
I don't know any names specifically. They don't come to me often. Most
I
everyone
suppose
here
not.
does.
Well,
Though I did see some new faces.
she kind of raises an eyebrow, but doesn't interrupt them.
I may have to go and introduce myself to the new faces. Invite them to church.
Well, why don't we end up going together?
Certainly, if you would like.
I wouldn't be much of a hostess if I didn't.
And he kind of points in the direction of Marjani and of Samantha, Faust, and Noel, the faces he hasn't seen in this neighborhood very often before.
Ah. That right there is Marjani. She is the owner of a local watering hole.
Which one?
I don't know. I'm not much of a drinker, to be honest with you.
Uh,
That there's actually Sammy. She's an older roommate of mine.
oh, how nice.
Right there is her little stray.
Stray.
Pet name.
Huh. Interesting. Very interesting. I don't know that I've ever known anyone to go by that name before.
Well, everybody's run into somebody who has a name that's not on their birth certificate.
I suppose so.
I imagine there's a story behind that one. I never did want to pry to ask.
And it's not our business to pry, just to accept.
What about yourself, Father? Is there anything going on in the church that I might be able to assist with?
Nothing terribly pressing. The church could always use more offerings. That's I
Cause.
encourage. I encourage the giving, simply because I'm paid by it. And not to get too much into the financials of a church, how to run a church, but
well, maybe that's something that you should discuss with Mr. Buford. Very knowledgeable about those kinds of things.
yeah, perhaps. And I'm not looking to get much in the way of outside investment, though, aside from what the congregation's willing to give. I'm not looking to get into any other financial endeavors, as it were.
I'm not talking finances, though. If you need somebody to end up helping out with the roof, I can definitely end up doing it.
If I ever have a leak, I'll let you know.
Well, Pappy always ended up saying, be handy with a hammer.
How is the old man doing, by the way?
Chemo went well. Well as we can hope. Right now, I guess early retirement just don't sit well with him.
For some people, no, for sure. I'll definitely keep him in my prayers, though.
He's always in mine.
Is there anything that you need?
A lot, but nothing I think you'd be willing to end up helping me unless you want to end up offering me the blood of Christ to put on eBay.
Yes. Transubstantiation happens to the individual, not before.
Yeah, I understand that, Father. It was a terrible pun on my part. You
It's
have to
quite
forgive
funny,
me.
though.
Thank you. No,
Truly,
I'm
child,
just.
though. Please reach out if you need something.
I have a question.
Shoot.
I don't know if you can answer it, or if you'd take me seriously on it.
If you would like me to answer seriously, I will answer you seriously.
What do you do when you feel like no, it's not feeling, you know, old scratches inside you?
Old scratch. Those human impulses.
You can't be called human anymore, I don't know. But I do know that I'm concerned.
It's the temptations of the devil.
Wayward thoughts, feelings, things that I keep pushing past and trying to see to the light of Christ. Trying to end up making sure that I don't go wayward. But I'm tired. Some nights I'm just wondering. I think he's waiting on me. Waiting on me to end up becoming idle. It's one of the reasons why I end up doing this in truth, trying to end up keeping myself busy, focused, and not become idle. Let my hands do his bidding.
That's sometimes the best you can do.
Anyway, if you have any way to stop me from being idle, I'm all ears.
I'll keep that in mind. I'm sure I can find something. If you ever do feel that you're too idle, though, you're free to come to me as well.
I appreciate that, Father. I will mosey on right through those church doors and come to you directly.
My door's always open.
I'm gonna go and end up mingling a bit more, but thank you very much, Father, for the invitation.
And he kind of looks you over. Do you own a rosary?
Yeah.
I find the prayers to
No,
accompany.
sorry. No, I don't.
And he goes to
My
take the one
mouth.
that he's wearing off and gives it to you.
Is there any silver located on it?
High or low?
Hi.
I didn't think about that. Nope. It's silver looking, but it's not silver.
No, I don't have that natural revulsion from it.
Nope.
I take it in hands and start counting beads. as
I have
go
a spare
through
at
it.
home anyway. I find it therapeutic.
A gift from you is like a gift from the Lord Himself. But I better not end up keeping you unless you end up taking a vow of starvation of some sort. Please, though, enjoy the brisket. Enjoy. I hope that the rest of the congregation does, and I hope they'll speak well about us when they end up doing so.
Fantastic. And I fear I must start heading out anyway.
The
It's
night
getting
got a
rather
little
late.
bit darker without your presence, Father Renfield.
You have a great night, Maria.
And as he walks off, Maria thinks about what she ended up considering. Renfield. That's a name and a story that Maria is very intimately familiar with. The closest thing she has to a example of her own history, her own blood, her own lineage, what she is. Renfield in the story was driven mad, having to serve as a master who he viewed as akin to God. He was crazed and locked in an asylum. Replaced, some would say. Or maybe he was there to herald what was to come. After all, he'd eat insects, mice, cats. Said they would bite at orderlies in order to end up tasting their flesh. Serve as an example that he was ready to become one with his master. She looks at the rosary. Ain't that just food for thought?
And I believe that is where we're going to take a quick break. We'll be back, everyone, with more of the barbecue as we continue San Antonio by Night Aftermath. Welcome back, everyone, to San Antonio by Night Aftermath, Episode 7. The Iconoclasts have concluded their little barbecue, having introduced themselves to every person that attended. Some familiar faces, some they hadn't met before, but now they're fairly familiar with just about every constituent of their little slice of home. But now, while all the mortals have retreated back to their homes to settle in for the night, as it has grown late, it is now 4 a.m. The coterie cleans up and has reconvened in the sitting area of their shared haven. Ohore having dismissed herself for a while after asking a question to one of the Duprees, and having dismissed herself to her room, she has since collected herself and is now in a proper functioning order. But the four of you are here, with Marjani and Samantha having stayed behind as, quote, cleanup duty. What do you do?
Ray comes out and she leans against the wall in the area where they're gathering. She lets out a slow breath and says, Marjani, I
Yeah.
owe you an apology. I kind of
Yeah, he kind of
suddenly
ditched me.
you out there. Sorry about that.
What the fuck?
It was better than what was happening in my head. I'll leave it at that.
Oh yeah. Had a little fight with yourself in the middle of that conversation. You had to go take care of it or some shit.
Yeah. That's
Yeah,
exactly what happened.
We all been there. I don't hold it against you, but little warning next time, maybe.
Well, with how that goes, it takes me down to talking is rather difficult in that situation.
Oh right, 'cause you're gangrel.
Yeah.
I get it. I've met a few gangrel in my life. It's not nothing new.
Oh, I just wanted to extend an apology for that.
Right, right. I mean, apology accepted. Doesn't mean I like you, but whatever.
I do have
Wasn't
a
expect-
question though.
Yeah, what's that?
That Max individual, the one that you very obviously don't like.
He called himself Max?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Who is
Max
he
Vargas.
really?
His name, he goes by Carnage when it comes to Kindred. Because,
Oh, wonderful!
Huh.
yeah,
He calls himself Carnage! Because that isn't subtle.
What warrants the name?
he's from Amarillo. At least he comes from Amarillo. You hear about some riots that went up there a couple of years back?
Have I?
Have I?
Anyone who wants to roll it can roll an intelligence and an intelligence politics.
I'm going to assist Mr. Stoneford in this memorization.
Okay. If you would like to assist instead, you can.
Okay, I'm gonna assist him.
So
And I'll
Noel,
take
you're
the
rolling at a
+1
+1 instead.
gracefully. And that's 3. Just a regular 3.
Okay.
Not the greatest, but it's 3.
So it strikes you as a little familiar, especially when she says something about Amarillo, because you do remember in the news that there was some really terrifying arson attacks, and that
Fire bombings.
and that police were it made news on the state level, but federal level not so much.
I think I did hear about that. The firebombing attacks, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Amarillo
didn't
was a
know that had any kindred religion.
Amarillo was a Camarilla city, and the Sabbat wiped them out.
Ah,
Oh,
So far as I know, it's in utter chaos, if there are any kindred living there at all.
and Carnage.
Was among them.
So he Sabbat them.
So he says. Says he's descended from a
Right.
pack that liberated LA. And it's got teeth like a motherfucker. I seen it because he helped track down the people that kidnapped Samantha here. His old pack.
So that's
Swears
why he's
he's Anak
tolerated.
now.
Sure.
Look,
That's the only reason anyone tolerates him, Samantha says.
affiliation aside, he said that he was a used car salesman. He definitely looks the part, and I wouldn't trust him as much as I'd trust one of them.
You should probably trust one of them, a used car salesman, more than you trust that fucker.
Has he got a history of telling bullshit?
No, and that's what scares me.
Yeah, that's a problem.
Big problem.
The fact that he was
Did he
even
s-
able to maintain his composure tonight, I'm actually very surprised because he's not usually that subtle.
I mean, I know I had a short talk with him. How about the rest of you?
I didn't get the opportunity.
Just
You
in the
seem-
group.
He seemed to evade me a bit.
Did he talk with you at all, Maria?
Stray and I avoided him on principle.
She kind of has given no look. Goes back to Marjani. Yeah, we might have chit the chat a bit.
What did he say to you?
concerned?
Am I concerned?
Yeah. You might notice that Maria, she's not back talking, but she's a little bit more firm in the ground with Marjani right now.
I'm concerned because he is a bigger monster than any of you combined, and you should not be mixing up with him. He was nothing but trouble. The only reason he is tolerated in this city is because he helped get rid of the Sabbats. That's it.
The Sabbats. Oh,
Yeah.
interesting.
Can I ask a question here? You said it's a bigger monster than all of us put together.
Yeah.
Why do you say that?
By himself, he's like a truck. A big old tanker truck that will toss you and rip you to shreds and all of that shit because I witnessed him do it.
Sounds like he could be useful.
He is useful. It's the only reason he's tolerated. But he
Sounds like
is
he might
not.
be good to learn from.
No.
No.
I
gotta-
told you already, you can stay away from him.
You got a clan for him, Marjani?
Bruja.
Ah,
With a little bit of Samisi thrown in. Because he learned a bunch of shit from them. A Bruja Sabbat priest. Means he's highly religious and he is definitely passionate about the things that he believes in.
Does he cause you trouble, Marjani?
He causes everybody trouble. He's a walking masquerade breach.
Understood.
we don't have a way to deal with someone like that. Think of it this way.
I'm pretty tough
Ray?
cookie and I can't do that.
If what Marjani is saying is true, and I'm willing to believe her, he could easily pick up 2 worth of you in a single hand, roll both of you into a bowl you down the street with no issue.
You know how
I
you get
know.
you know how you get a scratch and it's barely even anything?
Yeah.
He sink your teeth into you, you're done. He ripping you to shreds like your tissue paper.
Sounds like you two would get along. I smile at Hooray.
It does. But Marjani wants me to stay away, so
We always respect our gracious host.
Appreciate it.
definitely an interesting mix though. Bruja was Samiti and mixed in.
No,
Maybe a couple
No.
other things. It's all fuckity gobbledygooked, in my opinion.
Noel has this very thoughtful expression on his face. It's like he's thinking about something.
What's on your mind, Mr.
Just thinking, you mentioned that he had Zamisi mixed in, right?
Some kind of learning something from pack mates or some shit. I don't know. But he's got like claws and teeth of a gangrel if I ever did see one.
Interesting.
And the
No-
only reason that he could probably
Noel's
pick something
eye.
like that up is because if he, I don't know, maybe shed blood with somebody and got taught.
I look over to Maria, just subtly out of the corner of my eye, and then shoot it back to the ground thoughtfully.
Or
I believe
And-
that's an insight. If you're trying to read something.
I would
I'm-
like to do that. I would like to do that as well, actually, because
No, who are you
Noel
targeting for your
is
insight?
in targeting Maria
Faust?
because there's been some uncharacteristic shows, and with everything that Marjani has said, it's raising lots of questions.
Would this qualify as a cover-up for subterfuge?
Yes, because you're trying to hide it.
I'm actually
Maria.
Miss Kalu. If I might be so bold, and
No.
Nothing
Maria.
seems out of the nothing seems out of the ordinary, Noel.
She's quiet. That's about it.
Things that I have spotted that are out of the ordinary, I can't get a read on why.
She's not uncharacteristically quiet either. You noticed that she, in the presence of Marjani, the last time that you all were in her presence, she was very quiet too.
Oh no, it was more when she stood her ground earlier, a little bit. That, from what Noel has seen in Maria, that's a little uncharacteristic, but as to why, no clue. Absolutely no clue why she would be like that. It could be anything.
Miss Kalu and Maria. I know you two have an acquaintance, not too unlike a, I suppose, internship or mentorship of some sorts. I'm kind of curious. How did you two actually come to meet each other? What was your introduction?
Marjani just looks at Maria.
Maria just looks at Sammy.
Musical exchanges. All right.
Noel's eyes tick to Marjani, then to Maria, then to Sam, then back to Maria, and then to Marjani.
Looks like there's a story here.
Why don't we share?
Marjani then speaks up. The Sabbat were making attacks on the south side of the city, right outside of my domain.
Oh yeah, I heard about that.
One of the things that they did was steal a bunch of Thin Bloods. Samantha here included. Now,
Carnage wasn't involved with that.
so he says.
Says.
Now,
All right.
according to him, those Sabbat were being manipulated by the Camarilla. An attack on two fronts. The Camarilla headed by Kyle Calhoun.
Sabbat being manipulated by Cammy?
That's the
It
rumor.
makes sense.
That doesn't sound right to me, but okay.
The Sabbat are known for their zealotry. If you can place an enticing enough feast in front of them, they'll jump.
You seem to know a lot about Sabbat for not being a Camarilla.
I've done quite a bit of reading. Know thy enemy and all that.
He's the
Yeah,
Smithsonian.
but aren't the Sabbat one of those ones that threatens the Cammy?
Yeah, because they're walking masquerade breaches. They don't give a shit about nobody else but themselves. And
Right. And they hate Cammy, as far as I'm aware.
and they
Because the
hate
Cammy want to put
camis.
everybody under their fucking thumbs.
They hate camis for a lot of different reasons, as far as I know.
The
The
only thing
primary
more.
one being
Go ahead.
no, the primary one being is that, according to many of the people who aren't fully indoctrinated, it's a matter of stuck-upness. But those who are fully indoctrinated, they maybe have a little bit more going on under the hood. I wouldn't know.
The only thing more valuable than stuck-upedly crushing enemies, I think, would be stuck-upedly owning property. So I can see how potentially they would be manipulated and potentially would be directed.
You said that you think they might. You don't know if they've got anything else happening under the hood, right? But
I don't know nothing about Sabat beliefs.
Carnage is Sabat, right? He's like one of those priests
He
that
says
you were
he's
talking about.
Something like that.
Well,
That's
he
what
might
he
be
says.
fucking ugly, but he seems like a smart fellow to me. So they might have a lot more going on under the hood.
None of that really matters, though, is that they were causing problems on two fronts for this entire city.
Yeah.
Distract
That's-
us here in the south, while they were claiming territory up in the north.
Off.
I'm sorry. We got a bit distracted here. I didn't quite answer my question though. Where exactly did you meet Maria? Where does she play into all of this?
I met Maria when all of us, some of us, were taking out some of that pack. And as a result, after finding Samantha unharmed, and us making our way back here, Samantha crawled out of Maria here crawled out of a grave.
I look over to her.
Oh no.
Have
God, I can only
It
imagine how much it sucked.
It then begs that if they were taking thin bloods, they were most likely taking mortals too.
Sounds about
Yeah,
right.
that's about the long and short of it.
Maria here was a late bloomer. Most of the other graves that have been
Embrace to
buried,
get more feet on the ground.
they're called shovelheads.
Oh, that's just vulgar. Now, out of character, I will just be just a moment.
I look over to Maria, vaguely catching her attention, and I just mouth, "I'm sorry," and look down again.
She just keeps staring at Marjani as Marjani's recounting the tale.
Now, unless
Ain't
there's
much.
something more you want to add, Maria.
No, man. Ain't nothing more I need to add. Not right now, anyway.
We had to enlist some help to find out what your clan was. Cost a small penny, but figured out you're the only Samisi in a 100-mile radius. Aside from Josiah.
She
Who
tells
knows where
her.
that bitch went?
Yeah, who knows?
Here's hoping we don't have additional former Sabbat company like that.
Might I be excused?
Certainly.
He stands up and starts walking out back.
Samantha's actually going to follow you, and Marjani's not going to stop her.
As Maria passes, Ray is kind of going to reach out and grab her hand for a moment and give it a small squeeze before letting it drop.
You
It's
know,
a supportive gesture, if nothing else.
You know, she doesn't squeeze back. In fact, it's almost like her entire limb has just gone completely lifeless. Almost like no one's home. She just, without thinking, just keeps walking.
And the three of you are left with Marjani.
So, that's Maria's story.
Yeah. Shame I had to tell it. She should have told you herself.
Can see why she wouldn't.
But you asked.
It's
Yeah.
true. I can imagine it being very traumatic. Waking up in your own grave.
Most everybody here has some kind of rough beginning. It's not anything new.
It's true. That said, bit of a surprise him joining this little festivity.
Yeah.
I wonder what he was after.
Who knows? It's never good.
Has he got a history of pulling crap like this?
He's got a history of people disappearing around him.
Mostly kindred? Or just general?
Hard to say.
I'll keep that in mind.
Masquerade breach indeed. On a similar note,
We've never had to clean up after him, if that's what you're worried about.
No, that's not what I'm worried about.
Support priest.
You sound like you're putting something together. Muttering to yourself. You mind sharing with the class? I'm waiting. I asked you a question, Mr. Stoneford.
I'm just trying to figure out how to word this properly. I think that Carnage, given, apparently Sabat Pack Priest, I don't know exactly what that means, but it seems some kind of position of leadership.
Would seem
Sabat
appropriate
Pack,
to me.
Sabat Pack Priest, that Maria was subject to their embrace tactics, or at least to a pack's embrace tactics. And due to such, I imagine, or at least I've gathered, that she's been left in the dark about a whole lot. Maria, do you think it's possible that Carnage might have you in mind as a target? Not necessarily to get rid of you.
She's already left.
She's not there. She's already walked out.
Oh, Maria left.
Yeah,
Yeah.
My
she,
apologies, I was dealing with food while...
It's alright.
she walked out of the house.
I'm thinking Maria might be a target.
For what?
Possible conversion, I think. Naive little girl embraced by those who, well, Carnage believed weren't fitting the bill and were being manipulated by the Camarilla. Here you've got a naive new embrace, a shovelhead, as you so put it, with no idea about who she is. How easy it would be, not even to have to tell any lies, but to tempt someone with answers, to go, come under my wing and I will teach you everything that you need to know.
Well,
I'm not saying that that's exactly what's going on, but it's a possibility, especially since whilst Carnage doesn't strike me as the lying type, he does strike me very much as a bluffing type. Very charismatic, that one.
Bruhan be like that.
I think you're taking a swing in the dark. And you could very well be missing and putting Maria in a awkward position.
What's your thought?
I think
My thought is, I don't know what's going on. but we could find out.
My thought is Maria has a vested interest in the domain and the coterie, first and foremost. While we can accommodate and anticipate what she is, I do not want to neglect who she is.
Well, see, my worry isn't about Maria.
Of course.
But unfortunately, if we spend our time worrying about Carnage, we're not going to get anything done.
No.
Of course, I hear under the assumption that we're going to be paying Miss Kalu rent, and so if we're keeping an eye on Carnage, that doesn't get paid. Not in the ways that it should, anyway.
I think it would
Especially
be-
since...
I'd consider information on what he's doing to be partial payment for next week.
I see.
I'll keep an eye out.
I don't like him. I don't want him fucking with my shit.
Yeah, the only issue is that if he is... how do we stop him?
You tell me.
I suppose you'd had influence with the higher-ups of the city?
Yeah. I can talk to Ava. I can talk to Baron Jameson. But, what exactly you want me to
figured
tell him?
Well, if Carnage becomes a problem on that scale that you need to talk to one of them to begin with, well...
Well, that's where you come in
Simply-
and tell me if I need to.
Yeah.
So do I
If
need
he's...
to?
if...
Think you're jumping the gun.
No, not yet. We don't know what he's doing. We have no idea. So we need to figure that out. What's he doing here? What does he want? And then we can figure out whether we can just let him do what he wants to do in peace and not worry about it, or whether we have to tell you about it.
I'd prefer you tell me about it either way.
Well, yes. But I mean, rather telling you and requiring you to go to the higher-ups with the issue at hand, versus telling you and you simply knowing.
'Cause I really don't want to be involved in some drastic measures here. Because if he can be useful, he can be useful, but I don't want to. There's only
Don't wanna
one
take
person in this
chances.
goddamn city who can legitimately get rid of that man. And that person takes a lot of convincing.
May I ask who? Piqued my curiosity.
You'll know when you need to know.
Alright.
Besides, he wouldn't listen to you fuckers anyway. Hardly listens to the rest of us fuckers. So, you guys done? I'm about ready to leave. I got other shit to do.
Yeah, thanks for attending.
Yes. Thank you for attending, and
Next time,
thank you for...
shoot me an invite, 'cause you didn't. Had to hear about this through the grapevine.
Oh, I'm sorry. Next time
I'm
you'll
your
be
landlord.
definitely invited.
That one's gonna cost you. Nothing big, but it's gonna cost you.
Oh, you know I'm willing to work.
Yeah, I'll figure something out. Figure out what's happening with this goddamn meth thing and how it can get back up in order.
Yes, boss.
Understood.
I don't need no more cops breathing around my fucking neck.
There was a very disproportionate level of law enforcement here tonight.
Yeah, there was.
Seem to have a neighborhood of it.
Bit of reason for that. Make friends with them. They don't look at you as harshly.
Seriously. Make this the happiest neighborhood you've ever seen, Marjani.
Happy enough that they're still subjecting themselves to their vices, I hope.
Oh, absolutely.
Then we're on the same page.
Drugs are expensive.
Anyway, I'm getting the fuck out of here.
Take care.
Take care, Marjani.
Catch you around.
And she goes to leave.
She would be left to leave as she sees fit.
Did the three of you say anything to each other?
I'm gonna go check on Maria.
Yeah, no. You go do that.
Right.
What?
Thank you.
For what?
Looking after her.
I always take care of my own. And with that, Ray walks out.
Noel and Faust are left on their own, and Ahura goes out to meet with Maria. But Maria, you were followed directly out by Samantha.
Yeah.
Maria?
Walks over and pulls out one of the folding chairs, puts it right by the fire pit. I imagine right now, since no one's been feeding it for a little while, that it's probably burned down to embers.
Yep, it's mostly gone.
She sits close enough to be a little bit uncomfortable. But I love to feel normal a moment.
Maria, I'm sorry.
For what?
I'm sorry they had to ask.
Gonna come up eventually, right?
Yeah?
Maybe you didn't want to say anything.
I felt it was yours. I didn't want to say anything, because it was not my place, really.
Yeah, I'm getting real tired about hearing that. And not my place.
It's true, though.
It's not just from you, it's from me.
What do you mean?
Nothing. Guess I don't mean nothing by it. I'm just trying to end up keeping myself in mind of what's coming. I'm supposed to be a good little example, but every time Marjani sees me, all she ends up thinking of is, what am I gonna end up doing? Hearing about the Sabbat, and hearing about Carnage. She has a hard time bringing that name forward. Yeah. Yeah, I understand why they call me a fiend. I get it. She just looks into the embers. Just stares at them.
I don't really know what to say.
I don't think you need to say much of anything, Sam. I mean, what is there to say? We're both stuck in the same goddamn boat. Pardon my language. Forgive me, Father. She pulls out a rosary. Just starts counting the beads between her fingers. She just looks down into what's left of the fire pit.
At least you're not thin blood.
Thin blood, you're too small to notice. Me, I'm an active threat. Just because I'm existing.
I kind of know what that's like.
Yeah, I suppose you do. Suppose you do.
The only reason that Marjani keeps me as close as she does is because she doesn't want me going anywhere else.
And you're supposed to be keeping an eye on me.
Says I'm a threat. But she keeps me because I'm hers. If I were to try and get out, she'd hunt me down.
I'll be keeping that in mind.
But she's right, you know.
She looks at Sam quizzically. What do you mean?
Carnage isn't someone to get mixed up with.
I'm waiting to hear better options.
It's been a year since he even came to this city. And he's Sabat, and how do we know that this isn't just some kind of ploy? Just be careful.
You heard it themselves. He's honest to a fault. I think the thing that makes him dangerous in Marjani's eyes is the fact that he's not capable of lying. So when he says something, you can take it at face value. That's refreshing. And he don't look at me like the rest of you do.
That's fair.
What am I supposed to say? No, I didn't think about it. You're right. Am I supposed to say that, by golly, I think Marjani has a point. Let me just keep my head stuck in the ground and hope that something takes root in between my ear canal. I ain't about that. I can't be. And no one else in this entire city is gonna end up giving me answers. No one's gonna end up teaching me any more than you already did. The fact that you stepped up ends up meaning a lot to me, Sammy, and I'm Still scrounging on ways to end and making sure that you're alright. But I can't do that if I put my head in the sand.
I know. I just don't want to see you get hurt. Because he'll hurt you.
Yeah, so would Marjani, Ray, Faust, hell, even No. Especially No.
Especially Noel.
Yeah. It'll hurt me. Probably worse. I think Noel would burn me if he given an opportunity.
I'm not about to let that happen.
You let me deal with him. Yeah. You already done more than enough. You stuck your neck out for me once. I'm not gonna ask you to do it again. But I gotta figure something out. Else he's gonna end up taking that sword and cutting my head clean off its shoulders. I can see it in his eyes, you know. For a week he was thinking about it. Just stewing in it. I knew. He was thinking about lopping my head off.
What?
That's what he is, Samantha. He's a killer. Born and bred. Sure, he might have those cute little locks and might look like he only weighs about 100 pounds soaking wet. But I'll tell you, a man's a cold-blooded killer. And he makes no compulsions, no remorse over it.
That's frightening.
And when he
That's
gets
a quick way to go down that spiral.
when he gets a crawling, when he gets a bee in his bonnet, he don't let it go. At least Ray I can end up seeing coming. At least I understand where she's coming from. Faust at least tries to end up being cordial. So at the very least, civility is something that he seems to hold, which means stay civil and nothing goes haywire. Noel, on the other hand, I'm still trying to figure out who's more dangerous, Noel or Ray. Found out too late that I'm definitely not one of them.
What do you mean?
I ain't that dangerous. I think I am. But then the pecking order was established. Noel damn near cut me in two.
Sorry, what?
Sorry, forget I said anything.
That's some bullshit.
Like I said, I'm pretty sure this entire coterie thing is just set up for one of us to screw up so we can all fall. And I gotta end up keeping this from boiling over.
If you need something, Maria.
I need eyes and ears, and I need to end up having some understanding on what the hell to end up doing with this domain to make sure that it that if Marjani ever ends up deciding to change her mind, she has a reason to think twice. And if she ever looks at you and thinks that maybe I should stop wasting my time, that you have a place to run, a place that's fortified enough that she doesn't think about crossing it. She's got age, but we got numbers. We just gotta make it count for something in case something does happen. She might own the domain, but she's not a baron. I'm pretty
that's
sure
true.
that Baron Jameson doesn't want any infighting amongst his own.
Now, from what I understand, he comes down pretty hard when that happens.
So we need to end up making sure that we make this place so ingrained in us that Marjani can't. She can't end up coming forward without it turning into something ugly. Much as she might not like it, fact is that if we don't, what do we do? What are we here for? Except a very, very slow and tormenting execution. Waiting for something to go wrong.
And that's about when a hooray begins to walk up.
She don't say nothing. She just keeps looking into the fire.
Ray just moves up and just sits down on the ground beside her.
Hi, Ray.
Hey, Sam.
Should I go back in the house?
I don't have an issue.
Okay. What's up?
She kind of looks up at Maria. Thought I'd come out and check up, see how everybody is. It was a rough piece of conversation in there. And it's been a long night.
Oh, I had been meaning to ask. That one agent guy. What did you say his name was?
Which one?
The agent. I thought you guys said that he was... There was some kind of... Maybe I'm thinking of something different. I don't know.
Well, there was a lot of police officers here tonight.
Yeah, that's disconcerting.
I think she's referring to Sebastian Moore.
Yeah?
Where's he from?
Didn't they say he was from, like, Dallas or something?
Right, but before that.
I don't know. Might have to look into him.
Wait, hold... Dallas. Wait, I had said something about Leslie before, right?
Sorry, what was that?
Sorry, I had said something about Leslie before, right? For some reason, she came out of Dallas, too.
Yeah, you said something about that.
She was looking for a friend. Another ministry friend. Violet, I think her name was.
Sanoa.
Both of them are from Detroit. Nah, it's gotta
What
be
do
a
you think he's from
coincidence.
Detroit?
It's gotta be a coincidence, right?
I really don't know. I'm not sure what you're getting at.
I don't know what I'm getting at either, honestly. I don't know. Just, my brain is working in some really weird ways right now.
That's fair.
I thought maybe it would be connected since Leslie went through Dallas from Detroit.
Maybe.
Not this That's a shot in the dark, isn't it? Yeah, that's too.
You
It's
want to
too
look
neat.
into it? Might be something worth checking out if you're thinking about it. Least you can do is cross it off the list. I mean, what else are you gonna do with your eternity?
Right. I don't know. Leslie said something that she felt like she'd been followed the entire time. She never could shake that feeling.
So what if she's right? Well, let's say your hunch is right.
That'd be an awfully strange coincidence, don't you think?
Ever since I ended up finding out that vampires exist, I would like to end up here reminding you that odd coincidences be the norm.
That's valid. That's fair.
Sometimes though, coincidences aren't really coincidences.
Either way, we need to end up knowing which is which. So Sam, if you can end up giving us anything more on that.
Yeah, Leslie hangs out at Ava's.
Sounds like something you might want to end up looking into, right? Or
Yeah.
even so.
Yeah, I'll have to.
Though Noel seems to be a bit, well, a little bit blustered around it.
What's he got to do with anything?
Don't know, he just ends up getting, it kind of ends up reminding me of a frog swimming in an alligator pond. Whenever he's around them. Just scared to leap. Otherwise, it makes ripples, and all of a sudden, there's a lot more thrashing in the water than just a frog jumping in.
Hmm. Yeah, I'll see if Leslie can make her way out here.
I got some things to end up doing, so have her drop by. We'll get Leslie to end up clarifying something. I think Noel or Faust might be able to handle that.
Great.
Yeah.
And okay. Yeah, I'll coordinate with them then.
Sam,
Yes.
keep your head low. You hear me?
Loud and clear.
Yeah. Think you best get going.
Yeah.
I got a lot of cleanup to do. This place reeks of burnt meat.
Yeah, it does. I'll see ya.
Have a good evening.
Maria
And
just
she goes back into the house.
Maria doesn't even turn to end up watching Sam. She just goes back to staring at the embers in the fire pit.
On the topic of Carnage, do you want to talk to him?
If I answered yes, does that mean you're about to end up there throwing me to Marjani?
Actually, I'll back you up on it.
Now, why is that?
Because I'm interested in this guy. And because I think you can learn a thing or two from him. I think I can learn a thing or two from him.
Kind of raises a brow.
This dude, he's a walking masquerade breach. But nobody's taken him out. Why is that?
Never considered. Don't know him well enough to know what the hell his deal is. But you're right. He might have some answers. I figure at the very least, if he has a vested interest in keeping me above on this side of the grave, it ends up meaning that he has a vested interest in this location. And if he has a vested interest in this location, it gives us a little bit to end up saying to Marjani, you might want to end up watching yourself and where you step. Might upset a roommate.
That's exactly right.
Anything that can rattle her cage ends up meaning that we got a little bit more to work with.
I'm also interested in the fact that Carnage has a habit of killing Camarilla. I want to learn a little bit more about that.
What's the deal? I get that you have to do some really, really twisted shit in order to get your fill. I get that. I don't like it, but I get it. But what is that? That's a necessity. So what's your deal with the cam?
I was turned in a Kami city. Kami City is where I was born into this life. By somebody that I cared about. One day I want to go back there and I want to kill every fucker that did me wrong.
Revenge.
Yep.
Well, I'll give it this to you. I don't know if this is a trait of you or your clan, but I can appreciate the straightforward honesty of it.
I don't see the point in telling lies, particularly not to people that I consider part of the family,
Well,
part of my pack.
I don't even know if that's allowed or if that's how things go. Though I find it weird, use the term pack. So does
Yeah.
Carnage.
Pretty sure they're a different kind of pack.
Maybe. Just something to think about.
Yeah. Yeah. But in the end, we're all animals, aren't we?
Nah, not really. Most animals operate on a very rudimentary scale. They operate with needs of food, shelter, defense against predators. That's it. I
That's
think,
how I operate.
nah. Your bike tells me otherwise.
No.
Bike is a mode of transportation. It's operated by a skill that most animals would never end up taking the time to learn, as it is not a direct point to survival. They also don't end up taking the time to end up learning basic engine repair in order to end up keeping it running. Nor do they end up taking the time to end up finding a way to gas her up, grease her up, and then being able to end up change your spark plugs on a whim. That part is human.
I don't ride a bike. I'm so confused.
You always strike me as the type that would be driving or riding a bike.
Nah. Nah, I drive a truck. Similar to yours, actually.
Same principle, I suppose.
That's fair.
You might be closer to an animal, if I understand what you were telling me about earlier about gangrel. But I like to think it's closer to maybe early Homo sapiens. You know, you understood what the club was for. You understood how to end up building a shelter out of logs and fallen trees. It's rudimentary. It's simple, not complicated. Complication gets you killed. You simplify things right down to bare necessities.
I'll take that as a compliment.
Human trait. It's something that thing inside Old Scratch don't understand.
Yeah, Old Scratch.
She just starts thumbing again through the beads on the rosary in her hand.
I owe you an apology as well.
It's about Noel.
Yeah.
Then that's all that needs to be said.
Alright.
You think I'm gonna let you just have you drag it out for the next half hour?
Try not to.
As I was reminded earlier, forgiveness is a choice.
It is. I'm probably gonna be gone tomorrow night.
Something.
You call yours Scratch. Mine's getting a bit noisy.
Yeah, well, imagine by the end you'll be ripping into something like a chunk of lasagna there, being stuck on a fork, gnashed in your teeth, and
Something like that.
maybe it won't end up screaming as you end up wiping your face off. Maybe just don't use your clothes when the remains are all over you.
I'll try not to. Nah. I'll be AWOL for a bit while I take care of that. You and the other pair don't need to see that.
Appreciate the courtesy, nevertheless. I gotta go speak to the detective's wife, anyway. And after that, well, I guess I should end up taking some time to end up going to church.
Yeah, that father was kind of interesting, wasn't he?
Well, it's not like I got many here I can end up speaking to as far as one of the faithful. As far as I can end up telling God is dead and we're the ones who drank him dry.
That's true. Just,
I'd like to be amongst a group that doesn't believe that.
just be, careful with what you say to him.
Yeah, masquerade, I understand.
Yeah, well. When people find out we're monsters, it doesn't generally tend to go well, so.
Maybe not.
I know it might be a weird thing to say, Maria, but, I'm glad that you crawled out of that grave. I'm glad you're here.
Yeah, well,
At least in some capacity. Would have been better if you could stay human, but
why? So you might have somebody else to eat?
nah.
That's what's gonna happen, ain't it? Somebody's gonna get unlucky. And when it comes time, their number's up. We're the ones delivering.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'd oftentimes think it might have been better if I didn't crawl out. And the more
Why's that?
I've one here coterie mate who tried to end up cutting me clean in two, and I'm pretty sure still wants my goddamn head. I got another near one who's near cannibal who will end up devouring your bones and all. I have another one who I think is so clinically detached that at this point I'm not 100% sure if they're fully capable of grasping the basic human condition as they see the world in a bunch of numbers and charts and graphs. On top of that, I have an individual who is currently waiting for me to end up screwing up and is waiting for any opportunity to end up removing me, as I am a walking threat to this entire domain, simply on the basis of what clan I happen to be. If that's not bad enough, the only person who's going to end up giving me answers is somebody who is considered a looming threat by said individual. At this point, every move I make is a death sentence, so that it's less about what do I want and how do I want to die.
I guess that's fair enough. Alright.
And it's pretty much all I can end up doing is to not end up screaming at the top of my lungs and end up starting to throw shit around and try not to end up having a nervous breakdown, which I'm pretty sure is capable of ending up gaining so much attention that once the bullets start flying and people realize I'm not dropping, it just gets worse from there. So I can't even do that. So I have no outlet. I'm currently trapped in my own existence at this point, and all I want is out. And some days that ends up meaning I'm heavily considering staying out here till the sun starts coming up. Because maybe then Jesus will end up knowing that I've tried my best, but right now I have blood on my hands. I am now a killer, and my soul is sentenced to hell. If I still have one.
I think you've got one. Probably more than the rest of us.
Don't count on it. She stands up. I think we're done here.
Alright.
She starts walking, or grabs the folding chair, clasps it hard, and walks over and puts it up against the house before she pulls the sliding door to get back inside from the back.
Alright, do you follow?
No, she sits out there for a little bit longer. Just thinking over Maria's words.
And Noel and Faust are still in the house.
They are.
They are indeed.
You would have seen Samantha walking past. She seems to have left, though.
As she had passed through, I made a point to bid her a good evening. I do look at Noel, though. I do believe that I will be out for the remainder of the evening. I don't believe I'm going to be returning to the Haven tonight. Is there anything else you're requiring from me?
No. Simply go forth with my concern regarding tonight's events. Carnage is a danger that we can scarcely afford.
or he's an opportunity.
Yeah, but we're not gonna know which until it's far too late to change.
Hmm. It's a good thing we have such an intelligent individual on our side to research the concerns then. Right, Mr. Stoneford?
I can simply plot the outcomes, nothing more. It's up to you and Maria to do the talking. All I can tell you is what to expect.
And do give us all the points to refer to. I bid you a good evening.
And you as well, Mr. Buford.
And I'm going hunting. It's the end of the night. Let's get those late shifts.
All right.
I'm gonna do this by going along the sidewalk in a more shady part of town, looking rich, looking fabulously wealthy. So, and if I
Yeah,
can,
suit covered in flamingos will do that.
yeah.
Are
Good
you
point.
hunting in your own domain?
Yes, obviously.
And you're following your clan bane? Your preference?
Yep.
Alright. You don't have a prey exclusion, do you?
Can't do homeless people.
Then that's going to increase your difficulty by 2.
Oh God. Oh God. Do I
So
even
your-
have? All right.
So your normal difficulty is 5. That raises it
Mine
to...
has always succeed at a cost.
There's always succeed at a cost. Which we can find out if you succeed, if you have successes.
Let me see here.
Because it's difficulty 7 right now.
Yeah. Manipulation, persuasion.
One of said costs is to ignore either your clan bane or your prey exclusion. And take stains or willpower damage as a result.
I'll take willpower damage.
Then I would like you to take an aggravated willpower instead.
Okay. Just one?
And you get 2.
2?
Up to 2. Yep.
Okay. I am a busy man and I cannot afford problems.
Let's see if there's a resonance. There is. Let's see how strong it is.
Oh.
It's pretty
Oh.
strong.
Oh, I found a good one. I worked hard.
And now
Right.
let's see what flavor.
What's the taste? Is it like Kool-Aid?
Where
The
is
bad kind?
Where is my bookie thingy? It's definitely overworked. That's for sure. Because you were ignoring your prey exclusion, right?
I believe so. Whichever one took the aggravated
Oh, that's ignoring
It's
your
ignoring the bane.
ignoring your
Ignoring the bane.
ignoring your bane. Okay, so this person isn't overworked, so you're taking the willpower damage. And they are melancholic
No.
because I'm making a choice.
So it's not awful.
They're
It's just not quite right.
not quite right. And this takes up the last dregs of the time that you have left of the nights. It's pushing 6 a.m. and you need to be in a haven shortly before you burst into flames.
Yep.
There's a clock there, isn't there?
No, that's not a clock. That's intense.
9 and 9.
How
The
many?
it was the way that
Oh, do you only do clots at a 10?
I do clots on a 10.
Okay.
Alright, how much blood can I take?
Oh, I said 2.
2? Okay, taken. Melancholic.
Yep.
And
It's intense melancholic, so if you have powers in the vein of fortitude or obfuscate, they are at a +1.
I have fortitude, unswayable mind. I am fucking determined for whatever is coming next.
Yep. For whatever reason, you feel unstoppable. While it might taste very, very saddening, somehow that gives you an edge in your resolve. If someone were to try and push you around, you would be more determined to resist them.
It reminds me of this evening. I'm gonna go out and say it. I like Maria. I don't like at all that there is as much of a push to villainize her. What gets me and what makes me somewhat on the pissy side is how much potential my coterie actually has. That's why I'm with them in the first place. I'm not even gonna lie about that. And in that potential, am I constantly seeing that we're being pushed back on? We're constantly being villainized about. We're constantly being repressed. I'm certain for good reason. It always is. They have every reason to be fearful and mindful of what we can do. But all the more reason why we gotta show them. Why we have to make this domain the most profitable experience that my coterie can pull from it. That I can do for them. Determined, yes, in that. That's all I can say.
And just as Faust is leaving, Maria's coming back into the house, Noel.
Noel would be in thought. Simply pondering over the things said.
Maria, are you just passing him by?
I got nothing to say to the man who tried to hack me in half. I'm just heading right to my room. Spend some time with Diamond.
As she does pass by, Noel would speak up. Maria?
Just stops for a moment. Doesn't say anything, she's just listening.
And there's a breath. I apologize for what happened last night. I was
No, you don't.
Yes.
No.
Yes, I
you
do.
don't. She turns around. You don't get to apologize. There's a very stern difference between what's going on inside and what's going on up here. You made a choice. You had control and you took it anyway. So no, you don't get that. See, I tried to end up putting you hit. I tried not to end up tearing you to shreds. I fought against every instinct I end up having to end up doing so, and trust me, I got them just as bad as you do, but you swung. Maybe next time you just end up taking my head clean off because, it's convenient at that point because you're having a bit of a pissy mood. I get that you're staring at me every 2 seconds and wondering, should I take my shot now? Yep, you sure would be a great favor to Marjani.
That's not it.
That's exactly it. Don't
No,
play me like I'm an idiot.
it's not, Maria. All I am wondering in you
Thanks, Paul.
right now. All I am wondering in you right now is if you are going to go to Carnage to get answers. And if you are, all I'm going to say is be careful. I'm not going to stop you. You deserve to know. But he's a monster unlike any of us.
If you haven't happened to notice, that seems to be the way I'm defined around here. So maybe when whoever ended up telling you that told you, I wasn't in that equation. And maybe if I'm not going to end up getting the answers I do need from that, maybe I should. Because it's either that or sit in the dark with my thumb up my backside. And quite frankly, I don't think that that's going to end up helping neither of us. So, no. Right now, no, I'm extremely agitated. But I gotta end up finding some way that you and me can end up working together, at least on a professional level. But don't think I'm gonna forget for a second that you ended up causing me more grief pain than I ended up feeling in a year's time. And given what Marjani ended up telling you, you should end up understanding that pain has been a very large part of my particular existence. One that you wanted to end up reminding me of, and you ended up swinging. So regardless of your intentions, Mr. Stoneford, I will end up reminding you that I am, at this point, just doing everything I can to end up not end up turning this into another situation that's going to end up coming back to bite us in the backside. That being said, we're not on good terms right now. What you did to me, I'm going to remember. And you better pray to whatever God that you end up finding, that if I'm ever in a position that he says I can end up hitting you back, that I have learned to kept what's left of me in order to end up finding some degree of forgiveness in the Lord Jesus Christ, because right now he's the only thing here making me end up looking at you and not thinking Ray might be on to something.
Rip him to shreds. He deserves it.
I should tear him to pieces right now. What do you think? Start with the shoulder, work through the collarbone, have the ribs break one by one, go through the sternum, right down, have him fold sideways in half like a goddamn Pez dispenser, and just watch his heart atrophied, just sitting there like opening up a can of beans.
Maybe show him exactly what it's like when you transform. Stretch his skin out so that it's flayed all over the floor.
Old Scratch really don't like you none. Really don't like you none. I figure you might want to know that, no. He's clamoring for you. Something fierce right now.
No, I don't imagine that he does.
for the sake of being hospitable, I'm gonna end up going to my room now. My suggestion is that you end up getting right with whatever you call them. She starts walking her room. Hadn't even thought about the fact that her fangs are still out.
As
No,
I
you were carrying on
suppose.
the house.
I suppose I'm not surprised. I don't know why she felt the need to get him involved, to get her involved, but I suppose there's no use in changing it now. Let's just hope that she doesn't fly too close to the sun. And he's gonna head up to his room as well.
And the four of you, having gone to your respective domain, your respective havens, be it in the rooms that you have at this shared place, or be it somewhere potentially a little more safe or a little more dangerous, depending on your outlook. The four of you retire into day sleep. This long night of socializing and confronting comes to an end. And I believe that is where we're going to leave our lovely Iconoclasts for now. Thank you all for playing, for coming, for watching. Thank you, Maddie, for the raid a little bit ago. We appreciate everybody coming out here to give us some support. Thank you so much.
Ooh, raid.
Yes. But yeah,
Yay.
Whew.
thank you for playing, everybody.
What a dramatic evening.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
That it was.
very dramatic evening.
I loved it. I'm gonna get the poll started. So what are your thoughts, guys? What are your thoughts so far?
Maria
think-
got them sharp tongue, and she didn't need to change anything.
Um. Well,
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 well. Got some answers. And got some more questions.
not- yeah. Answers and questions.
More direction.
We have 2 plot points here, and I guess in order to support Maria, we're following one. And I'm trying to figure out how I can connect this in order to follow and resolve the other
Do
one.
both.
Yeah.
Ah, yes.
I like that level of thinking.
The classic fork in the road.
Okay,
Can you create
how
a
do we
third
make
path?
the
We'll
fault?
find out.
I have one idea, and then I have another idea. I have a couple ideas,
Oh,
and I'm
good.
not sure which one I want to go with. So I guess
Good.
we'll play around.
Good, good. You didn't find one solution, you found two. Fantastic.
Adventure's best friend is options.
Yes. Options.
Adventure's best friend is multiple options.
Yes.
Fuck around and find out.
Yep.
Um,
But yeah, we've got the
But,
poll going for audience favorite, so we're gonna dish out some XP here in a little bit. But first, I believe we have some willpower to recover, do we not?
Yes, I finished my desire.
oh, good job.
Yep. So did I.
Perfect. Faust, did you recover willpower?
No, because I've set my desire as too high a goal as of right now.
Oh, well, you can change it for next session.
I'm gonna change it for next session. Because I don't even know if I'm gonna get... Actually, I'm gonna wait until we get experience and then determine.
Okay, perfect.
Because there's still a chance I can resolve it by tonight. There's still a chance.
Okay. So, we don't have any stains to resolve, do we?
We don't?
Do
No.
Hmm. Wow. Good job, guys.
Yeah. Oh boy.
Good job, guys.
Good job, guys. Ooh, Maria, are you loving your neighbor, Noel, as you would yourself?
I mean, Maria does have a lot of self-loathing.
But no, I would say, yeah, that might be a breach of her,
Beach
Oh,
of conviction.
Oh, man.
I'll only count that as a 1 stain. So unless you have something that could mitigate it.
No, but I would have a second stain as well.
Oh, would you?
The blood bonding of Anita.
You didn't ghoul her, but you blood
yeah.
bonded her.
That stain doesn't occur until they've taken their 3rd drink and it's locked in.
Yep.
Okay.
She's a little more swayed, but she's not fully blood
You haven't
bound
taken
yet.
away her free will. You've just given her a suggestion at the moment.
Ooh.
Oh, Maria. Oh, honey.
Down to humanity 5.
Damn, you're spiraling hard.
Session did and you're down to humanity 5. Holy shit. Okay.
The same night.
Ray.
Yeah.
Hey Ray. You might not be the first. You might not be the first one to go.
Oh no.
That's amazing.
Oh no.
Wow.
Maria, my baby.
I am sorry. Holy shit.
After what Ray said That's irony.
Oh no. Alright.
I think you might have a little bit more soul than the rest of us. Not anymore.
Alright. Well,
Oh no.
it kind of explains how it is that she treated Noel, though.
Yeah. Jesus loves you, but I don't have to.
Well, now that we've got that settled, we're moving on to some experience, my friends. So everybody gets 1 for playing.
Yay.
And so let's go down the categories. We have the category for best scene, the plot mover, and for best line. So who moved our plot the furthest?
I'm gonna have to say Maria.
Yeah.
That's Maria.
For which
Specs
point?
having Discord issues. Honestly, the thought of Carnage being
There we go.
any more than simply a passing concern.
I'm back.
The thought of Carnage being any more than a passing concern at this point is all because, Noel is specifically afraid that Maria might go to him for answers because it's obvious at that point. Sabat Pact Priest, she's a Sabat Embrace.
It's kind of all at the front of their minds at the moment.
Yep,
About
and it would
Carnage and the conversation that potentially went down between Carnage and Maria, and what that's going to entail, and Maria and the way that she's handling things.
Yeah, so
Proud of the fact that it started with, so what did he say? She deflects the conversation, so never actually told anybody what that conversation was about.
Yeah, it's all theorizing and assumptions at the moment.
But we also, I think, gave Plot Mover to Maria and Carnage last time.
We did, but the expansion of that. Now it wasn't just a conversation, but the way that Maria deflected, the way that Maria, went out and I can't fucking talk. But the way that Maria left, it was the continuation of those actions and the new implications. And the new implications based on the talk we had with Marjani, which is why I'd give it to Maria.
Maria is heavily just looking at Carnage as at the very least. I have a way of making Marjani very nervous.
Yeah, there's
With
that
a
too.
nice power reversal for her.
Yes, that's the thing too. Maria actually has a bit of power in that, and that wouldn't have become obvious without the talk with Marjani.
Oh, that's fair.
Which is exactly what happened this session.
Okay. I can dig it.
The fact that we're
Also,
Marjani.
blood bonding the wives. Oh.
Yeah, also blood bonding the wife.
How hard would it be to make Carnage property?
Very. Exceptionally hard. Pack priest?
I wonder.
Yeah, no, a pack priest, especially if he had any kind of actual rank within the Sabbat.
Curious.
It's very curious indeed.
Because he was a pack priest, but if he's something like a priest or a cardinal or whatever, probably not. But if he was,
I have meta knowledge, and it's killing me because I can't act on it.
you do, because I mean, you had a hand in the design of Carnage, so
I know what Carnage wants.
yeah. Well, see, it's crossed Noel's mind that he's a pack priest. He killed his old pack because he thought that they were being manipulated by the Camarilla. He wants to build a new pack, and he feels like that that not only does Carnage want to build a new pack, but Maria might be prime target for it.
We'll have to find out, I guess.
We'll have to find out.
So is that unanimous? Are we putting that on Maria then?
Yeah.
It's her plot now.
Yep.
Hot damn.
Which is fine. We're more than fine with that, mainly because I want to see where this Carnage hole goes. Also, because it works in with Noel's specialties a bit as well. Him
I don't
being
think anybody wants to know where Carnage's holes go.
You don't want to be on the receiving end of his teeth and his claws, my dudes.
Well, I mean, if we're talking about his holes, Veronica, maybe. Vicissitude is a hell of a power, you know. Do all different things with it.
Oh.
Ah,
Yeah,
yes.
put that thought in your heads.
Beautiful Sumisi.
You're muted. You're muted, Derek. I missed that.
I'm not apologizing.
Good.
So, who had the best scene?
I really liked the scene with Faust and Noel talking business. Mostly
Yeah.
Faust.
I was
Yeah.
gonna give that a foul for that scene. Is like talking about the game, making it topical, talking about the GameStop stock, and
To be fair,
It's the only fucking.
this thing takes place in
slash
2020. This does not take place in 2021.
/Wall
it's-
Street Bets.
Happen sooner now. It's okay. It's relevant now.
Okay.
I'll take it.
Yes, the particular date for this game is Saturday the 14th, 2020.
Don't worry about it.
14th of November, right?
14th of November. Yep,
This is alternate universe, San Antonio. Things happen differently.
this is true.
Corona never happened. The world presumes regardless of her.
Yes. So we're
People
giving that
aren't
to
afraid
Faust.
to drink Mexican beer. Yes.
All right, Faust, that's yours.
Yay!
Best line.
I kind of want to give it to Faust. I just enjoy men in suits. They seem like they're a woman. I
Sebastian
like
got
that.
so uncomfortable about that.
Yes.
Yeah. Between that and what was it? There was another line, but it's right at the tip of my tongue, but I can't remember what it is. Don't mind me. Yeah, no,
It's not memorable if you can't remember it.
Fair enough. What's your say, Derek?
Yeah, I think that would probably do.
Yeah, I just like meta
Alright.
suits.
Then Faust it is.
You know, that's this Chronicles. I just think they're neat.
I just think they're neat. This does nothing for me, but it's great. This is amazing, but I like this.
No,
Alright.
you are the winner of the audience vote. So
He
no,
did it.
you
Oh,
get
I
that
have.
bonus.
Hey,
Do we have any
Hey, thank you,
expenditures
guys.
from our lovely Iconoclasts?
Yes.
Coffee,
Yes.
can I make a herd now?
Can you make a herd now?
Can I make a herd now?
can I make a herd now?
Yeah, I think there's some wiggle room to turn that into a 1-dot herd out of the neighborhood.
All right, then I completed my desire.
I have an expenditure.
What is your expenditure? No.
Finance 1.
He done it.
You done it. Hot damn. Any
I
other?
will note now that I have at least 1 dot in every mental skill.
What happened? Okay, so when I finish a desire, do I recover only superficial willpower, or is it?
Aggravated.
Can I do? Huh?
You can heal it aggravated.
Oh,
I'm
look!
healed by 1. All right, amazing.
Aw,
I'm
wasn't
gonna
too deep
notate
a
this
cost.
herd
Wow.
as neighborhood.
Yes. And what is the
Make-
resonant? Or you? Oh, well, it's a 50-50 shot on a 1-dot herd, as to whether they have resonance or not.
Yep, and
Okay.
it's random.
It's random.
Completely random.
Yep.
I don't get to pay. Not yet.
Which also means.
Soon.
Which would also mean there's a high or low, a 50-50 shot of them also matching your Bane.
At the moment, you'll have
At
to
the moment.
expand it.
Okay.
With the herd being kind of random, I'm going to randomize whether they fit your Bane or not. But if you develop it further, you can be choosy.
Well, at the very least, you know that they won't. Because of where you're making it from, you're gonna avoid triggering your prey exclusion. So
Right.
So
That's-
I'm gonna
one guarantee at least.
buy at the neighborhood, jack rent the fuck up, revitalize the business, so it doesn't look
There's a word for
inconspicuous.
that. There's a word for that.
Gentrification. All right.
Gentrification. They're gonna gentrify the neighborhood, and instead of meth, they're gonna be hooked on cocaine.
And
desire
opioids.
drugs.
Like I said,
God.
drugs are expensive.
Yeah, but you're gonna have someone do bath salts.
You know, in all fairness, that would explain anything that Ray ends up doing a lot better.
I can't argue with this, and I don't like it.
Yeah, like bath salts and flocka and ecstasy.
Oh god. Alright.
Or flan.
Oh
No.
no! Oh no!
Stop that! You stop that right now!
Right, we just need that kind of problem in the neighborhood. Gotcha.
That'd become a very quick citywide problem, and all three Dakota would
Oh
be
my
going to all
God.
3 barracks being like, so.
Oh my god. If more brought that, I'd be
Oh
one
my
salty
god,
food.
my brain just went to Carnage on Flan, and I'm now terrified beyond belief.
No! No! Go away! Do not!
I'm sorry, Ray. I'm terrified beyond the capacity for rational thought.
You're welcome.
Fear.
No. Stop that. Stop that right now. Right now. You hear me?
You chose the kind of chronicle that you wanted to play.
We did.
You
And it's
chose
a hard one.
who is involved in your lives.
Eh.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, so I need to make a visit to a touchstone for 2 reasons now.
Are there any more expenditures or not?
I'm banking
Okay.
because I'm 1 point off of buying my next skill that I want.
Ooh. What about Maria?
You make it too, Derek?
I am 2 points away from my next choice.
Nice. Fantastic.
Not really, because that would give me 15 for Protean 3.
Oh.
Are
oh,
you gonna
wait,
take
no,
flesh crafting?
That's the flesh change.
Oh,
That's
yeah, you
flesh crafting, yeah.
better believe I'm gonna use that.
She's giving in to scratch, y'all.
Goddamn right.
Look out, Noel!
I'm gonna get
He
turned
came up
into
with
a
the
chair.
idea. He came up with the idea to sculpt him into something like a rug.
Guess what, Noel? Now you really will be. Now you really will be the Smithsonian. You're gonna be a piece of modern art.
Well, I was kind of thinking
I
along the
hate
lines. I was kind of thinking along the lines of, is there a way we can modify that sword to stand straight up at all times? So I might
What-
have to put a historical bent on this.
I got dirty with that.
That's exactly where it's going.
Good.
Oh.
That's it. Look, if it was good enough for Gramps, it's good enough for me.
Hot damn.
Oh, God.
Oh, wow,
Oh, this chronicle is all over the place, and I love it.
Oh, I'm just on a cavalcade of failures and fuck-ups at the moment. Holy shit.
I'm not gonna
Fair,
stop
fair.
anything like this from happening, I hope you know.
No, I know. I wouldn't expect you to.
Alright.
There
fact,
is no
if you-
plot
in
armor
fact-
for
in
this
fact-
particular coterie.
In fact, if you did, I would be I would be looking looking at you with a, you serious? Look at your face. On my face. rather.
Yes, but yeah, let's do some shout outs. How
Yeah,
about
we got shout-outs to do.
how about
Derek,
how about the nerds? Like Gavin.
Yeah, I could do that. Once I figure out what it is that I'm doing, because I'm a professional, everybody. But yes, I am I am Gavin, also known as Lethality Complex, and when you're not seeing me stick my own foot in my mouth, you can find me Monday and Thursday evenings in the Gathering of Nerds, where on Mondays I'm currently running Brisbane by Night River City Secrets, along with these three people, and of course Coffee also used to play in that as well.
Yeah,
But-
boo.
And on Thursdays, I am running, currently running Shadowrun, where upon Specs is a wonderful darling player, and well, what awaits you tomorrow? You can also find me sporadically on other nerds streams throughout the week. You can find me here on San Antonio Wednesday nights. You can find me on Matty Morg's Tuesday nights, and you can find me in Detroit Sunday nights on Derek's channel. Sometimes you'll also find me very sporadically on a stream I like to call Live at Midnight, which I may end up doing tonight. I don't know. Depends on how I'm feeling. I've been too tired to last it a while, but maybe I will.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. And we have Mox.
Moxie, you can find me over on Gathering with Nerds along with Gavin, where we do all sorts of streams. So come join us over there, and you can also find me here, obviously. So if you haven't subscribed to CoffeeCat, please do so. It's a fantastic channel.
What are you waiting for? Do it! Do it now!
And Derek.
Hey everybody, my name's Macabre Derek. I am a VTM storyteller, a horror artist, and you can end up finding me on Macabre Derek on Twitch. We end up doing Detroit by Night Overhaul every single Sunday at 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. I'm hoping everything will be set up so that I can end up continuing to end up doing Detroit this week. Currently making a big move right now, so we're trying to figure out if that is logistically possible right now. But stay tuned. We also end up doing Drawing on the Macabre every Thursday, typically at 11 p.m. Central Standard Time, though sometimes we start a little early. And you'll end up finding me also on the Gathering of Nerds, where I end up playing Wendigo every single Monday at 10 p.m. Central Standard Time. I hope to end up seeing you all there, and if you haven't ended up following Gathering of Nerds or myself, I encourage you to do so, as I end up enjoying to end up also teaching Vampire the Masquerade. We go into storytelling, we go into techniques on how to up your game, the psychology behind the clans, and more. If I've intrigued you, please do end up hitting the follow. If not, well, we'll hunt you down too.
Very, very nice. Very, very nice. And Spectre, where can people find you?
Hello, I'm Spectre Deflector. You can find me on Twitter under the same panel, and on Twitch, and also on Discord, all under Spectre Deflector. You can find me as well Monday nights. I am with Gathering of Nerds for Brisbane by Night at 8 p.m. Wednesdays, I'm here at San Antonio. And then Thursdays, just recently, also, once again, Gathering of Nerds, 6 p.m. This is all Pacific Standard Time, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time for Shadowrun. And lastly, Friday nights on my channel on Twitch. At 6 p.m. I do art streams where you can stop by, get some commissions done, or just chat with me personally and hang out. Thank you.
All right. Well, thank you all so much for playing my lovely game. I appreciate you all so very much. And from the Alamo City, we want to wish you a good night. So say good night, everyone.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Have yourselves a good evening.
My humanity's falling like a stone!